Hey everybody, it's Talking Habs Membership Drive. We want you to become a member at Talking Habs for your daily fix of Bleu Blanc Rouge. If you take a membership, you get entered into the Talking Habs giveaways. Enjoy the show. Hey everybody, welcome to the show. So it's a membership drive. If you take a membership, you get the next giveaway is that hat. Let me see if I get up. Right? Nope. Hey, Derek. That hat's going to be next. Not that one in particular. I have another one signed and ready to go. But so we do that on a regular basis. All members get entered into every giveaway because you're donating to the channel by taking the membership. So that's the reason. Anyway, let's see. I don't know if anybody's here to talk. 8 people. Anybody want to say hi? Because basically we're going to talk about whatever you want to talk about tonight. So let's see what people want to talk about. So Daryl Adams is the only one so far. He says, Rick, if the Habs right now could go after one more player, who would you like them to get? I don't have anybody in particular, but I answered him already. A top 4 puck-moving defenseman, almost any one of them that don't break the bank. So there you go. So there's a message from Matt. He'll be joining me in a minute. Say hi and let's talk hockey. There's not much going on since the KK stuff, but I have a video out about the lineup projection, so we can talk about what you think the lineup might look like, or any aspect of anything Habs or hockey. I mean, you can ask me about anything. If I don't know it, I won't make it up. I'll just tell you I don't know, but you can ask me about anything. Hey, Hockey Froggy, how's it going? Welcome to the show. Yeah, so it's I think we are a week away from the rookie mini camp. So there's going to be a couple of games. I don't know if they're going to be televised at all. I believe they usually are on RDS here locally. So, I mean, that's coming up. And then training camp's 2 weeks away. Hey, Dixon, no problem. You don't need to use PayPal, but I mean, no problem there. You can, with YouTube, if you use your Interact, I've got some memberships. I always use my Interact for that. But hey, that's fine. I mean, no worries. I appreciate it. So what do you guys want to talk about? Because I don't have any particular agenda for today. I just want to, talk about whatever you guys want to talk about. And like I said, Matt will be joining me in a minute. It's funny, I'll talk about this. I put out a video. I don't know if it was the last one before the lineup projection or one before that, where I was talking about, it was Canadian dad complaints. And I referred back to my very first video. And oddly enough, it got, I left a link and it got a few views. I don't know who would want to watch that. But anyway, so I thought that was pretty funny. H2O Water, sup, brother? Fan of this channel and diehard Habs fan. Love the Dvorak upgrade. Yeah, I like Dvorak too. And thanks. I appreciate that you watch the channel. Hey, man. Enjoy. If you are here and you haven't taken a membership, that's fine. But please give a thumbs up. I'd appreciate that. And consider taking a subscription. And when you take the subscription, you get notified of the videos as they come out, all the live streams and all that. So it helps if you like the channel. And we do have a lot of live streams coming up because the hockey season is coming. And I live stream all the games. I don't show them on the channel. So for anybody new here, I don't show them on the channel, but we chat, we talk about it. And I react to the game. And, we have a lot of fun with that. So. That's coming up. And a lot of stuff. I'm working on kind of the agenda for the season. Hopefully it'll be interesting. But I'm going to leave myself a little more time this season to do regular videos instead of just live streams and game reviews and game previews. That was all I was doing last season. And I want to do more than that. So I'm going to adjust. And hopefully we'll have a little more entertainment. So still only nobody wants to talk to me. What's up tonight? It seems like that's the day today. Nobody wants to talk to me. Whatever I say seems to piss people off. So I don't know what's going on yesterday, today. I don't know what's going on. Hey, Franco, how's it going? All's good. I mean, it's as good as can be, I guess, Bad boy Steve Poitras. I'm doing good. How are you, buddy? Um, oh, you just there's a I don't know what you're watching it on a phone. I don't know exactly where the join button is, but if you're on a laptop or a PC, it's just underneath the window. It's supposed to be. I don't see it here on mine, but I'm watching it on StreamYard. But it's just underneath the window. You hit join, and you can follow through there, and it tells you everything. As a matter of fact, bye. Thank you, buddy. Became a YouTube member. I don't see which membership, but I appreciate it. Thank you so much. And some bye hype and some membership hype. I got to remember that I don't do a lot of live streams anymore. So, right now. Thanks so much, bye. I really appreciate that. So we got one new member. I got to get set up. I don't know on StreamYard. I don't know how I would do that to get to have a counter for stuff like that. But anyway, so one new member tonight. Thank you so much, buddy. Let me see now. Who did I miss? How many Habs games have I been to in my life? Oh, God, I don't know. Probably about 20. Somewhere in there. I never really counted. Hey, I'm Nub Newbie. Been a while, buddy. Good to see you. Would I trade for another center or a puck-moving defenseman? The puck mover, but again, depending on what it's going to cost, seeing as we have a lot of wingers. In Mark Bergevin's press conference, I think 2 days ago, he was asked a question about would there be any more moves made, and he said no, basically. He doesn't expect any. He's not working on anything. They don't have room to make any kind of moves. So basically, if they're going to make any moves, it doesn't mean that anything like spring training. God, that's baseball. What the hell? Where's that come from? Training camp. You never know, right? How things work out. If there's an injury, if something happens, whatever, could be a move there or during the season, trade deadline. But he says there's nothing before the season starts. So we'll see what happens. No problem, babe boy. I like that. I like that you had to do it. I'm good with that. Dixon says, I think we got way too many wingers. Not really. Something's going down soon. Well, I honestly, I don't think we have way too many wingers. With Byron out, don't forget, Byron's out for 2-3 months of the season. So we got to take him off the board. It really only leaves Perreault as an extra winger. So I don't think we have way too many wingers. I think we need a winger like that. So I think I think that's I think it's a bit of an exaggeration at this point that we have too many wingers. I don't think we do. Oh, that's true. Dvorak's wearing number 28. He's not at number 18 anymore. So how he came about that is he wore number 10 with the London Knights in junior, and he wore number 18 with the Arizona Coyotes, and you add the two together, and you get number 28, and that's his new number. Apparently, he had to call John Merrill, ask permission. I don't know what that's about. What percentage of the $6.1 million does Carolina have to pay on next contract to KK? Yeah. Okay. So the qualifying offer is only if they go that far, right? He has the 1 year. If they sign him and they're able to, starting January 1st, they're able to sign him to an extension. If they sign him to an extension, then the qualifying offer doesn't come into play, right? Because they'll sign him to an extension, whatever years, and it doesn't matter what the qualifying offer. That's only if they haven't re-signed him yet. And as an RFA, in order to keep his rights, the team to keep his rights, they have to make a qualifying offer. But if it doesn't go that far, then it doesn't come into play. So it depends what they feel he's worth at that point, and if they sign him to a deal during the season. I don't know what Bozak will add. No, I don't think it's necessary because I think they've got enough options at center that, I don't think it's going to be a problem necessarily. And listen, what's Bozak really going to do? Where is he going to play? I don't know. I kind of say no to Bozak. My opinion. Hey, Massimo. How's it going, buddy? Renegade Man, I hope the Dvorak trade ends the Eichel rumors once and for all. What's the point of trading Caufield for Eichel if he won't be available until midseason, if he gets the surgery he wants? Which is, first of all, I think you're right. Obviously, they got Dvorak. They're not getting Eichel. They weren't getting Eichel. At this point, like, what team's going to trade for him, right? You got to trade whoever's going to go the other way. So if it's people off your roster, they're gone at that point. You get Eichel, but he's got to have surgery and blah, 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 and he doesn't play for you. Or they make the deal and then they wait, like he rehabs, plays this season, whatever, and then gets the operation in the next offseason. Maybe that's it, but I don't know. So I don't know at this point if Eichel's going to get moved now or I don't know. If they don't move him, I don't know what happens. I can't see Eichel playing another game for Buffalo. Like I don't get it, but so I don't know. No ghastly games. Don't know what that means. Am I going to miss watching the Canadian division this year? No. You know what? It got to be too much. As much as it sounded great, and I was all excited. No, too many games. You know what? If they had a Canadian division, all the Canadian teams, but they played the other teams, that's a different story. But where it's just the Canadian division playing each other, it was just too much after a while. And no, I didn't like it at the end. At the end of all said and done, I didn't really like it that way. But if they were all together in a division and they just had a regular season and played all the teams, that would be okay. I'm good with that. So, yeah, I don't know. I don't know if that's a popular opinion, but that's how it is. So for centers, as it stands now, Suzuki, Dvorak, Evans, Paling, Paquette. You also have, in case of an injury and you need a guy for a few games, you got Perreault. He's a natural center. Moved to the wing because of his back, but can play a little bit there. Yeah, I mean, I guess that's it. The thing is, if you sign a guy like Bozak, which I'm sure would be at minimum salary, which they don't have a lot of money, so even that's a problem. But so does he where do you keep him, right? Because obviously they have a 23-man roster. So who goes and who stays and who can go down and not get, what if Bozak has a really good camp, right? But you want, let's stash him in the AHL for a bit. And he has to clear waivers. He had a good camp. Someone picks him up at minimum salary. I don't know. I don't know if it's worth it. But yeah, I mean, that's who they got. I think it's okay. Paling may make the team out of training camp. Yeah, he might. I don't know that the Habs are sold on that exactly because of the fact that they signed him to a two-way contract for that first year of the 2-year deal. So I don't know if they're sold on that, but yeah, I think it's very, very possible that he does come out of camp with the team. Yeah. Hey, Joe Habs. With his injury, since no one knows the outcome, will be as it was never performed on an NHL player before. Okay, but again, I'm going to refer to Tommy John surgery in baseball back when I was a kid or younger. I don't remember exactly when it happened. It never happened before. It was a huge thing, Tommy John surgery. Now it's kind of de rigueur, every day. I don't know that that's an issue there, right, with Tommy John. So this is probably going to be the same thing. It has never been performed on an NHL player, but more than likely it'll be okay. It'll work out, and other players will get this kind of surgery if needed. So I don't know that that's a big thing to say that it has never been done before. A lot of things have never been done before or had never been done before, and thank God someone did them, because if that makes any sense. Am I making any sense? Hello? Anybody home? I don't know. Rick, I can see the Habs making a big trade in the deadline, acquiring a puck-moving D-man if they're contending in a wild card. Oh, I agree with that. especially if Bergevin doesn't resign. I don't know, hot take. I don't know that that's a big hot take because if they're contending, and I think this is a position that they really need, I don't think that's a hot take to say that they might try to make a deal. I don't know where they'll get the money exactly, but I mean, it's a long way down the road, and who knows, things can change that way. So yeah, I think at some point, it doesn't matter when, even that if there's a top 4 puck moving defenseman that they like that's available, it makes sense to go out and try to grab somebody like that. But I don't know. We tried Eric Gustafsson last season, didn't really do anything. You need a guy that's going to move the needle, and so a top 4 guy, a legitimate one. Otherwise, to try a project doesn't really work. We tried that with Gustafsson. I don't know. I'd like to see them get a real puck mover that'll be here for a while. It's something that they're really missing. I think that you should have a puck mover and a kind of stay-at-home guy on each line. I think a good balance helps the offense. Yeah. Hey, Jay Bats. How's it going, bro? In my opinion, how many goals will Josh Anderson score? Okay, so I did a lineup projection when I introduced the line, so I made a little overlay, had the players, their pictures, and I gave predictions for their points. Anderson, I've got at 20 goals, 20 assists. So 40 points. I think it's something that now on the third line, I don't know that he scores 20 goals. I think he's capable to score 20 goals. So it depends, but I think he's capable of those numbers. They're not big numbers. He's making 5.5, but he brings a lot more to the table than just that. So I don't think it's a problem. Okay, there's a lot more comments coming in because we're getting more people. If I miss a comment, just please retype it or take a super chat. And if you do take the super chat, you will also be entered in the giveaway, which is going to happen sometime this month. I'm not sure when. I think there's a preseason game that I can do. Anyway, sometime near the end of the month, we're going to do the giveaway for that hat. Which rookies will make the team other than Caufield? Poehling. I'm not sure Poehling's still a rookie because I know he played some games. I don't know how many exactly. I don't see anybody else. Oh, well, I know what everyone's thinking, I guess. You're thinking of Norlinder. When you say make the team, I think like Norlinder, goalie, I think they might get a game or two this season, sometime during the season. I don't think that's making the team. So I think Poehling is the only one. And I'm not sure he's still a rookie, but it means close enough. So, yeah, I think that's it. Canadian division would be too much travel for teams. Very true. It wouldn't work in a regular season. But quite frankly, I don't think I want to see another, especially an 82-game season. So now we're talking about, 12, 13 games each team? It's too much. It's just too much. And I don't know. I didn't enjoy it second half. First half was cool. Second half, not so cool. That's my opinion. Bruce says no more moves. He's excited to see what Poehling and Norlinder are going to bring. I think you're assuming Norlinder. That's a big assumption to assume he's going to make the team. I do think this. I kind of think Norlinder is probably going to be the surprise of the training camp. I don't know that makes him the team. Apparently, though, he said if he doesn't make the team, he's going to go back to Sweden for another year, which isn't a bad thing. So I don't know, but I'd like to see him come in, have a good camp, and go to Laval. That's personally what I'd like to see. Poehling, I think Poehling's got a really good shot. Got a really good, especially since they didn't really bring in. Okay, they brought in Dvorak, but I mean KK went, so it's not like we got Dvorak and still have KK. So like the previous question, is there room for another center? There kind of is, right? So I like the fact that Poehling's going to get a good shot. Probably better than he would have if this all didn't happen. So, And I know a lot of people in my lineup video, a few people were telling me to switch Evans and Poehling because I have Evans third line, Poehling fourth line. And I heard a report where Ducharme, Coach Ducharme, had said that he's pretty much already counting. He's counting on Evans to win that third line position. So he's got Evans pretty much penciled in on the third line. Obviously, it's Evans' job to win or lose still. But so I think Poehling in his first season, if he's going to play center, and with all the wings that we got, I don't see Poehling playing on the wing this year necessarily unless there's a trade made and that, makes that happen. I think he'll start on the fourth line at center. It's his first year at center in the big leagues, basically, and I think he starts on the fourth line. Can it change and can he move up? Of course, but I don't think he's going to take third line. Joe Hab says you could see us going after Sami. I imagine that's Sami Vatanen. I could see maybe a professional tryout, a PTO, but I don't know if they're going to sign him. And same thing with Bozak. I could see a PTO for Bozak, but I don't know about signing him straight up. The problem with a PTO is it was actually pointed out on Twitter today. I was reading that it's true. You got a guy like Vatanen or Bozak comes in, has a good camp. And then some team, because he's only on a PTO, some team comes in before you really get a chance to sign him with a really good offer that you're not really going to, he knows you're not going to offer. And they get signed away, so sometimes it bites you in the ass and sometimes you find somebody that So I think on a PTO, I can see Vatanen and Bozak getting signed to those, yeah. If we look down the middle for the Habs, now all the centers are 6 foot and above. We haven't had that in forever. If Weber returns to the playoffs and Poehling takes a huge step, we can make finals. That's not 100% accurate because Nick Suzuki's 5'11". I don't know if he has grown another inch. It's unlikely at his age to have grown another inch, but he's 5'11". He's right there, but he's not exactly so. But he's got like a 6-footer or 6'1's body. As far as weight, he's got a bit of a stocky body, I guess, and like he's 209 pounds at the beginning of last season. He might be up to 210, 11, 12, something like that. So, but he's under 6 feet. But I mean, so it's not the end of the world. But you're right; it's the first time in a while haven't had that one center that's kind of small. Because I don't consider necessarily 5'11" small. Depends on the player and their body. Okay, I don't know what this says, but I got to read it. Anti-vaxxers, F sheep, then steal their medication. Very timely, in the news kind of name. All right, Norlinder's contract over there only allows him to leave for an NHL team, not the AHL. So to keep him here, he need a legitimate chance. Okay, see, that's something I didn't know. So he's either going to make the team, which I kind of don't think so, or maybe Weidman really shits the bed and they keep him as a seventh defenseman. I mean, they can do that. I don't see it. We'll have to see how he plays in the preseason. But, yeah, I didn't know that aspect of it. So he's either going to make the team or he's going back to the SHL. Frölunda, I believe he plays for. I believe he played today. Drouin would be a nice 3C. Rick? Well, in my video, I actually had him as 2C. But now with Dvorak, I don't see that. But quite frankly, listen, if you haven't watched the video, I had Hoffman second line with Dvorak, and then realizing and hearing stuff that Dvorak probably be best served with a guy like Drouin who can move the puck, who distributes the puck well. Dvorak can score some goals. And I think that Dvorak, and he likes to be in front of the net and all that. I think he might benefit more with Drouin than with Hoffman. And that's why I have Drouin as the second line winger with Dvorak. So, no, I think with Dvorak here, I think we're going to see Drouin with him. I think it makes sense, right? I don't know that Toffoli is that, and on that side, I'm Lehkonen. No, the only guy on the left wing that really would fit the bill for that for Dvorak is Drouin, and I think it makes sense. Hey, Matt Outdoor, how you doing, buddy? How's Newfoundland treating you? No, Drouin's not a center necessarily, though. I think in the right situation he could play there. I don't think they need to in this situation, and I think he's better. The team is better served with him at left wing on the Dvorak line. Well, I've got it. Okay, so how many goals and points for Dvorak? Hang on a sec, Matt. I have it in my video as 25 goals, 27 assists, 52 points for Dvorak. That's my prediction. I think that's the ballpark. I think he can do better. I don't know that he will yet, but I mean, that's my conservative prediction for Dvorak. All right, so we're going to be joined here by someone everybody knows. Hey, Matt, how's it going?
What's going on?
Yeah, it's going. So, yeah, we're just going through the comments, and we're talking about, I imagine, everyone wants to know what our opinions are of the upcoming season.
Of course.
While I took a break for a sec. Give a thumbs up if you're having a good time. Subscribe, ring that notifications bell if you would like to see more of these videos and such, and take a membership. And if you do that, you will also get entered into the giveaway that is happening within the next 2 weeks. And see that hat? Hang on, I'm not very good that way. See that hat I'm pointing to? Yeah, I have one just like that. Autographed, which I don't know why. I think it makes it worth less, but autographed, and yeah, someone's gonna win that. Yeah. There, Matt's wearing one because Matt won one. There's the autograph, and he just received it today. All right, Matt, I forgot about that. Dummy. Yeah. Fits okay. Looks good on you, man.
Yeah, no, and honestly, like as you were saying, like it's a Dollarama hat, but it's a nice hat. Like it's not like
from
cheap
the dollar
quality.
store. They're nice hats. I wouldn't just buy cheap garbage. They had some cheaper ones, like the red one I wear. That's kind of a cheap. These are nice hats. When I saw them, I went,
no, what? They are. They feel nice too. You know what I mean? They're not bad.
No, how the hell for that price? So I'm not saying they're worth a lot. Like I didn't spend a lot on them, but they're nice. And they're, I signed it, and that's going to make it worth a lot more. Really. So they went from being a dollar store hat. I signed it. Now it's like a 10-cent store hat. I think that's how it works.
But no, I mean, like even the material, like it doesn't even feel like a cheap hat.
That's why I got them, and that's why I'm giving them away, because it's a nice product. So yeah, anyways. So I'm glad you got it, and it looks good on you. So that's pretty cool. All right, let's get back to these guys. Where was I? Whoop, I jumped. Asia's Land, how you doing, buddy? Oh, it jumped. There we are. I think. Does anyone want? No, we're not starting talking about that. I'm not talking about that, Don Vito. Sorry. That's you know what? Everything that happens, fire the GM. I'm not going there again. I don't want to go there again, and don't start it in the chat again, please. It's ridiculous. It's ridiculous. Sorry. What pick is going to be the better pick, Carolina's or Montreal's? Impossible to say that.
It really is. I mean,
who knows?
Yeah. I think even though Carolina, in past years has been very good, I think they've taken a step back this offseason. So I think we're almost kind of in the same boat. So it really, we won't really know again until, the end of the season.
Could come down right to the wire. Because if you remember, 2 seasons ago where we were 2 points out of the playoffs?
Yeah.
Carolina, who in the last few days of the season kind of took a lead. But there was a point, there was Columbus, Carolina, Montreal for that wild card spot. Really close, tight race. So I kind of think that might happen again this year. So, yeah.
I mean, it absolutely could. So, yeah, I mean, it's
like more than likely they're going to be close together wherever they finish. That it won't make a difference who's picked goes there, it's not going to make that much of a difference.
I mean, unless something absolutely drastic happens.
Right. Which I hope happens to Carolina, not to Montreal, but yeah.
Yeah, no, I mean, and it's a little, low likelihood of that happening. But yeah, I think they're not going to be far apart. I'd say max. I mean, maybe 5 picks apart, something like that. I don't think they're going to be that far apart at all, really.
Yeah, I don't think so. Joe Habs. LNH, that's the NHL in French, the way they spell it. That means Ligue Nationale d'Hockey. Habs Insider, LNH Habs Insider said Habs signed Bergevin for 3 years, but Bergevin said no. Yeah, and I believe that they have that deal in principle, waiting for him to sign. I don't know when, what's waiting, what they're waiting for to do the sign, but that's a big rumor that he has a contract there, and I believe that he does. I imagine he's waiting for, I don't know, a point where he might want to take some heat off the team, and if some whatever, or the stuff about that kid they drafted and what's going on in Chicago to die down, or to come to a conclusion before he signs. I think that's probably it. But yeah, I think that he does have a deal. What do you think, Matt? You think he has a deal? Because have you heard that rumor? Or?
Not really.
Okay, well, yeah, you're not a local guy here. That might be why I'm hearing it more than some people. But yeah, it seems like he's got a deal. And remember, Bergevin, he ain't going to tell you till he signs it. He ain't saying nothing. Do you think the team is better or worse off at the same point last year? Very interesting question. I'm going to let Matt go first on that. What do you think, Matt? Are they better or worse going into training camp than they were last year?
I think they're about the same. Maybe a little bit better, only because I think our special teams, especially the power play, is going to be a lot better. Obviously, without Weber on the back end, it's going to hurt, but I think we have capable defensemen back there. I think David Savard is capable of stepping up to being that, like a shutdown guy, not replacing Weber the person, but like that role.
He might even get better play when you consider Weber wasn't really good at a lot of points during the regular season last year.
Right, and now we know it's because he was playing through so much pain.
No, I get that, but I'm saying consider that, and David Savard actually might be a little bit better for us that way. Anyway, I also think David Savard also has a much better pass out of the defensive zone, a much quicker pass, and I think offensively, I think we've gotten better. I think we've added scores. I think the power play is going to be a lot better. If Drouin can stay healthy, he's going to get assists. So, I mean, you throw him on a power play with like Hoffman and maybe you have Gallagher or Anderson, someone to be in the net front. I think the power play is going to run a lot better, a lot smoother. Power play is going to be better. But I don't see how it cannot be. I would say that I would agree with you. Before this whole thing, though, with acquiring Dvorak, losing KK, I would say we're probably on the other side of that, right? A little, not as, just almost as good, but not. I think the addition of Dvorak actually makes that change. Because I think...
Yeah, that totally slipped my mind. Yeah, no, you're absolutely right.
I think Dvorak, if you took the two, KK Dvorak this year, maybe for the next 2-3, we're better off having Dvorak, without a doubt. KK might turn into a better player than Dvorak is right now, but he isn't that right now. So we are better. I think Dvorak has a lot of untapped potential that he just needed to be on a better team with better line mates. Because if you look, I didn't put it in here. I have what his line mates were last year. I mean, he was all over the board. I think if you give him steady minutes, steady line mates, steady position, he wasn't even a steady center all last year. He was all over the place with them. I think he's gonna he had 37 points, and so I don't know what that works out to, but that's about 50 points. Now I gave him only 52 in 82 games, but I think he has potential to get over 60.
I do, and I think I watched some of his highlights because I wasn't really familiar with him, but I think he also has a better shot than Kotkaniemi. I really do, at least release-wise. I mean, and his positioning too in the offensive zone, like he's right in the middle of the dots, like in the slot. That puck's on his stick and off his stick like that.
He loves to hang out in the slot.
Yeah, I think he's got a much better shot.
Yeah.
I think probably about even hands wise, but I think he's got a much better shot than Kotkaniemi. Like I said, I think he's a little bit
afraid
tougher.
to use it, and he is
Right.
not afraid to use it. Where Kotkaniemi wasn't using the shot.
Right, and it's another lightning quick release to add, to the likes of like Hoffman and Caufield. I mean, it's absolutely lightning quick, and it's barred down too. I mean, it's pinpoint accurate.
Yeah. Do you see now what you just said? It kind of, for me, that supports what I said about adding Drouin to the line with him, because he likes to hang out in the slot. He likes to be in front of the net. Well, he's not going to distribute as much. That's not his. He's not a center that distributes the puck more than scores. And
that's exactly what Drouin
is
would
the
come
guy
in,
to have with him, because he's going to get the puck. I mean, look at the assist Drouin does rack up. You can't deny that.
No, he does. I mean, he's good for at least 35 assists a season.
Oh yeah.
I mean, I mean, like I said, with Dvorak's position, I mean, he's always right around that, right in front of the net, right at the hash marks, just ready to let that wicked quick shot go.
Yep, and like you had said about power play,
and on the power play too, it's the same way. He's always right there waiting for the puck.
He's a power play performer, and he plays he can play the PK, but he's a power play performer. We added Hoffman. We added two big pieces on the power play that I think are really going to improve that power play.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, so I think the scoring, so the power play goals, I don't see how they can't increase. Because we didn't really lose enough off of the power play in the offseason that the guys that we just added didn't make up for it, but not more. These guys make up for that and more.
Right.
And it's going to really, I think that's going to be fun to watch our power play this season coming up.
Dvorak also tips in a lot of pucks too. He's got really good hand-eye coordination.
He hangs around the net. He's not afraid to go to the front of the net, and he hangs out there and he scores a lot from there. So, yeah,
he's not afraid to look for the puck too and dig it out and kind of sling it out to his wings and then get back in position either.
Absolutely, and again, if you got a guy like Drouin out there, he can do that, right? He can be freed up to do more of that. Where you got Drouin distributing the puck once he gets it or whatever. So yeah, I like that. I like that setup. Carolina might be half decent. I mean, it's the same situation with Montreal. Montreal might also be half decent. They might not. They're in a very similar situation. But as Matt said earlier, not that long ago, I think Carolina got worse. I don't understand some of their offseason moves. Why? Like, I'm sorry, I don't believe them that KK was their target. They wanted KK and all. Like, you didn't try to sign Donnie Hamilton. You gave up on a future, possibly star goaltender.
Yeah, I still can't wrap my head around that. I mean,
it doesn't make any sense.
You signed Tony DeAngelo, who's
signed Tony DeAngelo, who's a locker room cancer. So, yeah, I think they got worse. So, just how much worse? And then is Montreal better? And then how much of that, right? So, to how they're finished. So, I have a feeling, I have a feeling Carolina is going to get their pick back. I think it's going to be the worst of the two. This will be the lower, and that's the one they're going to get, right?
Yeah, that's who Arizona would end up getting. But listen, I agree.
Wait a second. I've got a question. Maybe I'm wrong. When they say the worst of the pick, is that the higher pick or the lower?
I think it's.
I'm just thinking about that. I'm reading it wrong.
I think it's so like the better of the two. But I do know if for whatever reason, if they both end up in the top 10, or if one of them ends up in the top 10, they're protected. So I know
it's protected. Then Carolina gets their pick back.
Top 10. If they if they're in the top 10, they're protected. So So if they both end up in the top 10, we get both.
No.
Oh.
No. I think what it means is that if they both end up in the top 10, Montreal keeps their pick, no matter whether it's like they get to keep the better of the picks. If they're top 10, they get to keep the better. If it's top 10,
they pick the better. I think even if one's in the top 10, they keep the top 10 pick, and the other one goes to Arizona.
That I'm not sure, but I know both of them are. I believe it switches that Montreal gets to keep the better of the number one.
That I know for sure. I think if one ends up in the top 10, I think it's still protected, but I don't know. There's a lot to read about it, but
it's confusing. There's always
either way, we're still going to have a first round pick. So
Yeah, which was important because the draft's in Montreal. I didn't see any way Bergevin was going to trade both picks.
I also like the second rounder 2 years down the road instead of this year, next year. I like that. I think that's smart.
It makes it affordable. It makes it like you don't really feel it because it's down the road, and you don't really feel it. So basically, we're getting Dvorak for a first rounder.
Yeah, and the way that MB can go out and kind of stash draft picks, I'm not really worried about it.
I don't know if I got that right, but anyway, it is what it is.
Because we still have a ton of picks this year, and I feel like every year he ends up getting us a good.
We're still good. We're still good.
We end up with a nice stack of picks.
Would Hurdle be another option if Dvorak wasn't available? I mean, yeah, Hurdle was definitely another option, but a more expensive option, a bit of an older option, and I don't know that he brings you exactly the same thing. Like I don't know, can you call?
Yeah, I like Dvorak over Hurdle. Even if we didn't get Dvorak and we still say we didn't have that 2C, I'd still want Dvorak. I think Dvorak's better.
Because I don't think Hurdle's a two-way. Is he? He's not a two-way center. I mean, this is an offensive.
Not really, no. He's more of an offensive guy.
Yeah, that's so. I think it's. I think
Dvorak fits the needs that we had a lot more.
Yeah, and I think Dvorak may surprise some people on the offense. It's not coming out right because I wanted to burp. I think Dvorak surprises some people on the offensive side this year. Because they're going to see the numbers from Arizona. Yeah, but
again, that's with Arizona. He's doing that with Arizona.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like you were saying, now he's going to have wingers that are capable that can actually feed him the puck.
Right.
And let him, get into his position.
Yeah. And that's what we're going to have here in Montreal. So it's going to be a lot better. So I think it's.
And we'll win more faceoffs, which is very important.
Faceoffs are something he prides himself. So
he's like, 55%, something like that? It's good.
I think career 52 was last season or his career. I'm not sure.
I know his career. Both numbers I know are above 50. I think last year he was
51 point something, one's 52 point something. So I don't know which one last year, but I think 52 was last year. And I think his career average is 51 point something. So the point is, Danault left. At least in the dot, we didn't lose anything because that's around what Danault's average is.
Right.
It's about the same.
Maybe even slightly better.
But slightly better or slightly worse, but it's
right around there. But again, I'll take 52% in the dot all day, every day.
Yeah, I mean that's a bonus that the guy they did pick up is good in the dot because it's something they needed.
Especially on the power play too. I mean, how many times did we go on the power play? We couldn't win a damn face-off to set up.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
Yeah, yep, I agree.
Or on the penalty kill too. I mean, it's going to help immensely.
Yeah, he can play. Listen, Dvorak can play ball. He's not as. I think he's better on the power play than he is on the penalty kill. But he plays both, so we're not.
No, he's still a very capable two-way center.
Yeah, that's
he's
it.
Not as defensively elite as Danault is. Not close. But
we're not losing.
He can play,
that.
but he can. Yeah, but he can. He's pretty good in the defensive zone. Like he'll go out there and play defense. He's fine.
Absolutely.
He's a solid 200-foot player.
Not a problem. So we got ourselves a good player. And that's all you can ask for. I think it'll be like 3-4 years down the road. We might be looking at KK and getting jealous and all that, and I could see that. But if Dvorak has a good 4 years, I don't see why he wouldn't resign. And if he resigns, he'll only be 29 at the end of his current contract. Still going to be young. Could be a guy we still have for
still basically be in his prime.
Yeah, he's just entering his prime. Maybe I don't even know. I don't know if they've upped it because prime for me when I was young, prime was 27 to about 32, 33.
That's how I kind of think of it as well.
Today, I think prime's a little younger though. I know a lot of people refer to guys at 25, 26 entering their prime. So I think because there's a lot of younger kids coming in and doing well. I think that numbers come down. If that's the case, he's just entering it. So,
but even if it's not the case, he's right there. And when the contract runs out, he's smack in the middle of his prime.
Yeah. So we got. I think it's a good deal. It's like Hurdle,
and it saves us $2 million.
Hurdle wouldn't have been the same. He's only got this year left, so he'd have to be re-signed. More than likely, wouldn't stay. So no, Dvorak was the guy.
Yeah, and we saved that $2 million too.
Yeah,
Not,
exactly. And it's $1,300,000.
$1 million and a half or $1.3 million. Yeah. But still, I mean, it's savings. It's money.
100%. Norlinder headed over to Montreal today, pretty sure to join rookie camp. Yep. So he didn't play today.
He's been playing very well with Orlando, though. I've been watching his highlights. He looks pretty good.
Yeah, he was supposed to be here last week, but I think because the quarantine situation is all different, he won't have to, so he's coming later. I didn't hear that he was coming in today, but I mean, it's very possible. But yeah, it's for rookie camp, which starts next week. So
yeah,
that's why he's here.
And he's got a lot of potential. He's been playing very well with Orlando.
And then right after rookie camp is the regular training camp, so he's here for that as well. So
yeah, have you been able to see any of his highlights for Orlando yet?
Here and there, not a lot.
He looks nice. I mean, he's definitely got loads of potential. I really like what I'm seeing.
Listen, if this kid was, I want to say like 2-3 years older, right? So he's in the league. That's the player that we're talking about. Puck moving defenseman.
Exactly. Got a wicked snapshot too.
So he hasn't made it yet, but if he does, and I do believe he will. But, I mean, he still has to be proven out. So if he does, that's the guy we're all talking about. We need a puck-moving defenseman. Blah, blah, blah. Norlinder is a perfect example of what, that hopefully he'll grow into exactly that. He looks like he will.
Oh, yeah. He's got a wicked slap shot on him, too, for a young kid. Yeah. Wicked slap shot.
And he's playing, 2 years now in the SHL, which is a men's league. He's not playing junior. So he's
in the Champions Hockey League, too, which is like the best. That's the best of the best in all. Yeah, of all the European leagues.
He's playing the best in Sweden. Yeah, I don't know that I don't know, but I know.
So the Champions. So at the end of those regular seasons, they go into what? So in like European soccer, they have the Champions League. It's kind of similar in hockey. It's the Champions Hockey League, and it's basically the teams that won. So like the Swedish League champion against like the Swiss League champion. So it's like the best teams that like the teams that won each of those leagues play in a tournament. So he's playing against the best teams in Europe.
Yeah, no, it's a lot.
I don't think the KHL sends anyone there, but besides the KHL, but he's playing like the German league, all those leagues.
But it's better than playing in the junior leagues here. I mean,
1,000% better.
He'll be. Let's put it this way: when he does get here, which I mean, I guess you could say this. Yeah, maybe what I'm going to say doesn't make sense. I'm going to say it anyway. So when he does finally arrive, I'll say, doesn't mean it'll be this year, but when he does finally arrive, I mean, he'll be ready. Right?
Oh, yeah.
When he comes there and he go, okay, he'll be ready. It won't be, okay, he's just, he'll be ready to play in the NHL way more than a kid coming up like Suzuki was, straight out of junior. And some guys even coming in from a short stint in the AHL, So this kid will be ready. It's possible it'll be this year. I don't know. I'm leaving it open to the fact that Norlinder could actually make the team.
He absolutely could, and you touched on it earlier before I got in here. But even if he doesn't, I would rather have him go back and play in Sweden than play like in juniors or play in the AHL. I think it's much better for his development, and that's what like Austin Matthews did. Obviously, Austin Matthews is kind of an outlier, but again, that's how he got himself better. He went over and he played with men in Europe and then came over here. So
yeah, well, and apparently someone had said that he has no choice. He either makes the team, the big team, or he has to go back to Sweden. He can't go to Laval. It's in his contract with the Swedish team.
And that's fine. Like I said, I have no problem with that. I think it's better for him to go back to Sweden.
I don't think it's a problem.
I think it does nothing but help his game.
Matt, I'm not going to really be talking about that here. That's the kind of stuff that's got me in trouble, apparently, in the last couple of days. So I'm not talking about it here. Carey Price has been practicing headstands all summer. What's the significance of that? Anyway, that's good. He'll be ready.
Yeah, he should be good to go.
Franco was happy to hear Dvorak say he tries to play like Bergeron. That's actually another good point. They asked him in that little interview yesterday. If it wasn't yesterday, it was the day before. And they asked him about who he models his game after. And Patrice Bergeron is the guy that he says he likes to play like. Nothing wrong with that. Nothing wrong with that.
No, nothing wrong with it. Listen, honestly, that's a perfect kind of role model guy to look up to.
Yep.
Like, absolutely. And I live, again, I live in Boston, so I mean, I know firsthand like how good he is as a hockey player, but too like just as a person, like he's just one of the best guys in the NHL. So I'm really happy to hear that.
Okay. Because I am. Wow, I tried to just scroll a little bit. I think I went like a mile. The hell. Sorry, everybody. Let's try this. Did Bergevin go to Hogwarts? Why you asked that? The guy's a wizard. I get it. Somehow upgrades their center depth for cheaper and drop a massively overpriced contract on the Canes' head. Well, he didn't drop the contract on the Canes' head. Sorry. Canes did it themselves. Am I the only one who thinks? No, I'm not the only one. Did anybody see Don Waddell? I don't know if it's his press conference. And it was. They denied the revenge. I gotta go find this. No, I gotta go find this. This is something I picked up today that's hilarious. I don't know how else to put it. Here.
Well, he can't come out and say that. I don't think he can.
Okay,
everybody knows it was revenge. I mean,
no, I know, but this is first from Dundon. So Dundon, I don't think we would use offer sheets as a normal strategy, but given the circumstance with what happened to us with this team, brackets out, it made it something we would consider. But the idea we would do it for revenge or to get even is silly. We just want to win. Okay, so in the first part of that statement, he says, we don't normally use offer sheets, but because of what they did to us, we used it. But hey, it wasn't for revenge or to get even. So he says it's for revenge, but it wasn't for revenge. In the same freaking sentence. Are you kidding me? And then this is Waddell, same thing. And I have it. I put the name Waddell Insane Answer. His quote: "If it hadn't happened to us, it probably wouldn't have happened to them. But revenge isn't the reason we did it." Hurricanes owner Tom. Oh, this was from Tom Dundon. I thought that was Waddell. So again, he says it's because of what they did. So they did this. Isn't that revenge? I mean, isn't that pretty much the definition of revenge?
Yeah, that's what I was just about to say.
And he says, no. Yeah, we did it for revenge. But hey, we didn't do it for revenge. I guarantee
Mickey Mouse organization.
Tom Dundon is a Republican. Guaranteed. I swore. Sorry. Guaranteed. Don't argue with me because that's GOP speak right there. Perfect freaking example. Okay, I'm scrolling again, and that gets me in trouble. Okay, I don't understand that. Yes, we do it. We do if they're in the top 10, then they get the first round pick next year. And if there is only one in the top 10, then they get the worst pick. Yeah,
so that goes along with what I said. If one goes in the top 10, we get it. They get the other pick.
Right. And so this makes more sense. I think it's the worst pick. They get the worst of the two picks. I think. Either way, it seems like. Anyway, I haven't gone back to look at the word. I don't have it anywhere, but I thought the wording was worse. But it might be better of the two. It's either that. It's one or the other. It can't be anything else.
Yeah. But again, I am glad they threw that protection on there. But even like,
yeah,
I hope both aren't in the top 10. That'd be a problem.
Well, yeah, think about that, right? Everyone's saying that, but God, I hope ours isn't. I don't want to be I don't want to be that wrong where Montreal ends up just shitting the bed all season. They're horrible. So, because if they're pick is in the top 10, it means they had a horrible season.
Or they just missed on the playoffs, but somehow won a lottery.
Yeah, I mean, but it's probably a horrible season, injuries, whatever. It's not a good thing.
Excuse me. Yeah.
No problem. Suzuki's number on the draw will have a big improvement this year. He knows it's his weakest part of his game. I bet he did some practicing this offseason. Oh, listen, without a doubt. I mean, this kid he's working on faceoffs off season, during the season. He's working on faceoffs. He's Nick Suzuki. What does that mean to when I say that? He's proven he's a kid that learns from his mistakes. Right?
Oh, yeah.
He does some bad thing. You don't see it again usually. He improves on it. So whatever it is, he's going to get better. And again, having Christian Dvorak, who's consistent in those, another teacher that'll help him get better. You know?
So. And I love seeing that out of the young kid too. Just that determination, that work ethic. That's awesome. He's only what, 22, 23?
22 Suzuki now.
Yeah, I mean, I'd love to see that out of a young kid like that.
It's a kid that, like, you see him make mistakes, but you don't see him often repeat them.
Right.
Like a ton of times. Let's put it that way. He might do it one or two times, and then he doesn't do it again. He learns. He's learning. He's coachable. He's going to be an elite hockey player. I don't see how
without a doubt.
You know, I think this season, look, if he gets what I'm predicting for him, which is 75 points, I don't know, but those are elite numbers now.
I mean, listen, I assume you had Toffoli on his left and Caufield on the right, or vice versa. Yeah. I mean, with the chemistry that line has, I think it's possible. I mean, that line chemistry is just unreal. I mean, it really is.
I'm calling for everybody on that line to have 25 goals. Actually, Toffoli 26. But I think Suzuki's capable, and I think Caufield's capable this year of 25.
Do you think Caufield wins the Calder? Because he seems to be the consensus pick that I've seen all over Twitter.
I've got him at 25 and 30, so for 55 points. If he gets 55 points, you got to think that if he doesn't win it, he's going to be right there as a finalist. So I think Caufield pretty much, it's not guaranteed, but I mean, you got to expect Caufield will finish in the top 3 for the Calder at the end. Don't you think?
I mean, I would think so. I mean, I know the other two names, well, I forget one of the names, but one of the other names that got brought up was Spencer Knight, who's the goalie for the Panthers. So I saw Boston College, who I've seen on the U.S. national team. It was very good.
Oh, yeah.
But I don't remember the last time a goalie won the Calder.
It's not, well, Dryden, our last Calder winner is Ken Dryden.
Right, I'm just saying in general. I don't remember the last time.
It doesn't happen often.
Right.
Listen, if Florida has a great season and they're in the playoffs or whatever, yeah, Spencer Knight could win the Calder because that means I think he's going to be there. Like, I don't have any confidence anymore in Bobrovsky.
But the thing is, you really going to have a friggin' $10 million goaltender riding the pine? It's a little redundant.
Well, if your other guy,
but I mean, Spencer Knight, I think is the better goaltender. I'd go with him, but if
your $10 million goalie isn't winning games, then yeah, I'm going with the guy who's winning. I don't care how much.
No, I mean 100%. I mean, I just from a money standpoint, it's just kind of a waste of money if he's going to be riding the pine. But
I'm sorry, excuse me.
But no, I agree.
If you're trying to
I think Spencer Knight's the better goalie anyway.
If you're trying to make the playoffs and Spencer Knight's the guy that's winning, he's going to be playing.
Right.
Unless you're an idiot. And who's that? Quenneville's there?
Joel Quenneville's the coach, yeah.
I don't know how to pronounce it. But anyway, so he's going to play the hot goalie. If I'm correct, he
knows how to win. He knows what the hell he's doing.
And if I'm correct, he doesn't mind pulling goalies or playing the other guy. Like, he'll play who's playing best.
Right.
I don't think that'll be a problem there.
No,
we'll see. I guess Spencer Knight has an option. I don't know who else is gonna. Like, I don't know the other big rookies. I don't like Owen Power not playing, so he's out.
Yeah, I think like 5 of the top 10 picks went back to college or something. It's kind of funny.
So I don't know who could be in the running right now.
There's a couple other names, but the only other one that stood out to me was Spencer Knight.
Yeah. So anyway,
who is very damn good.
I think. I think Caufield has a really good shot at.
Yeah. Yeah, like I said, I don't see why not. I mean, especially if that line keeps clicking, and what he can do without the puck, and what he can do even with it, and his ability to like he did at Vegas when his ability to just make space for himself and just get by defenders, like not even just holding the puck, but like tapping the puck by guys and just beating them with his speed. Like, I don't see why he couldn't.
No, definitely. Hey, hey there, Shamir and Pete. Didn't see you till now. I'm just looking. I think I scrolled by a lot of stuff. That's why I was trying to find because I was at the end there. Dang. Oh, let's talk about KK. KK's still a project now on the left wing on Carolina, third line.
Yeah, why the hell did they move him to the wing?
Who's think about that. They signed him the offer sheet $6.1 million, and he's not only going to play the wing, he's going to play on the third line. So you got a third line winger making 6.1. Now, okay, Hoffman plays wing here. He's still only making 4.5, isn't he?
Yeah, and he's playing second line. I mean, Hoffman should be the second line winger, right?
Not on the left side. I think it should be Drouin. We just talked about
it. Or flip. Yeah, we'll flip him, obviously.
I don't think
there's two wings, Rick. Damn it, there's two of them.
I don't think there's a choice here. I mean, I don't see Hoffman. Listen, unless Hoffman is playing first line, but then you got Toffoli on third line. I think it's going to work out that way. I don't know.
I think Drouin on the left, Hoffman on the right. I think it'd be fine.
Think about it too. Hoffman's not a big 5-on-5 guy. He's a power play guy. So I don't think it's that bad that he's going to be on the third line because, more than likely he's going to get more minutes by being on the power play. So it'll work out to this.
Who do you have on the other wing on the second line then?
On the other wing on the second is Gallagher, yeah.
Okay. Yep. That's fair.
You got to listen, you got to have guys that can put the puck in the net.
Yeah, that's fair.
Drouin. And I think Gallagher, you might have Anderson there, but I think you're going to get more goals out of Gallagher than Anderson. I don't think is that a debate?
And I don't think a third line of Hoffman, Evans, and Anderson wouldn't even be too bad either. That's not a bad third line.
That's my third line, yeah.
That's not a bad third line.
No, it's it really will depend on, and look, it could be Poehling, but I mean, Ducharme did say that Evans is going to be his third line.
Yeah, and I think Evans has more experience, on the.
It's just a matter of how much offense does he have in him. That's all I wonder about for that. But we're going to find out. But I don't see how else to work it out. I don't see some big player is making money is going to be on the third line. So if you're going by money, Drouin is making $1 million more. And listen, I know I'm not the biggest Drouin fan, but I mean, if you think about it, Drouin is the guy to play with Dvorak.
1,000%.
He really is. And Gallagher, I don't think Gallagher's goals drop off that much. I see Gallagher still scoring 30. So, man, you want him on the second line because I don't see Anderson scoring 30. I don't. I just don't. Not the way he needs to play. I just don't see him scoring 30. So, yeah, it's going to be Gallagher, I think, on the second line.
Okay. No, that's fair.
I think, and look, it's my opinion. It doesn't mean it's going to happen.
Yeah, I mean, I think that's fair because that was kind of my concern too. Because I don't know if I want a guy making over $6 million on the third line. You know what I mean? But yeah, I mean, I can see a second line of Drouin, Dvorak, Gallagher. I think that'd be fine.
Yeah.
But yeah, and KK's gripe I think was playing time. I don't know if he's going to get more playing time than he got here if he's playing third line in Carolina.
This is what
You know what I mean? I don't know.
Wasn't a good move, I don't think, for KK. But hey, listen.
I mean, listen. He's getting paid, so I get that. He's getting money, but
it was his decision to make.
If he wants playing time, I don't think he's going to get more than he got here.
Yeah, I don't think so either. That's what some ex-teammates think of Christian Dvorak. Strong, good on faceoffs, serious and great attitude. Likes to be in front of the net on power play, natural PK player, and he's blocking shots. Sounds good to me. He likes to be in front of the net, not only on the power play.
Oh, 5-on-5 too. That's his bread and butter. Yeah. I mean, especially if he has space, you get him the puck, it's on and off his stick like that.
Yeah. No, this kid, I've seen some highlights. Not a ton, but I've seen some highlights. He's got good hands. He's got
Oh,
good
he does.
hands.
He's got a lightning quick shot,
Yeah,
too.
yeah.
Oh, is it lightning quick?
So to say it's a stretch to put him here on the second line at center, I don't think so. So
No,
anybody,
I
because
don't
I've
think
seen
so
people
either.
thinking he's going to be third line center. No,
No.
I think he's a legitimate second line center. I really do. I think he'll put up the numbers to prove it this year. See, Franco agrees. Dvorak in front of the net is awesome. Puck finds the back of the net.
Oh, yeah.
Or just under the crossbar. He likes
Oh,
to
seriously. And he's pinpoint accurate, too.
Yeah,
I mean, he really is. And he's great tipping pucks, too. So,
yeah.
If the D-man can just get shots on, I mean, his hand-eye coordination is unreal.
Kid's going to score some goals. I kind of think I gave him 25 goals. I thought I was being conservative, to be honest with you. I think he can do more. I just don't know how much. I thought, 25. I think he can. I think he really can hit that without trouble. So I gave him that, but I think he can get more than that. I just don't know. We'll see how it plays out. But the kid's got seriously good hands.
Oh, yeah.
And not like Jordan Wheel good hands. Proven NHL good hands. Right?
Yeah, and his positional awareness is unreal.
Yeah, the kid's he's a good hockey player. I mean, there's nothing
real high hockey
you can
IQ.
say about it other than he's a really good hockey player. I think we should be really happy to have him. So Pete asks, so what's going to happen with all our upcoming defensemen in our farm team? Are we just going to leave them there or not? Well, if we found out that Norlinder can't go to the AHL. He either makes the team or goes back to Sweden. Yeah, I think Goalie comes up and makes AHL team. I think he has a good camp, and they send him to the AHL because this year Goalie can play in the AHL. And I think
I should know this, but aside from like Goalie and Norlander, what other
Harris?
Excuse me. Oh, Harris,
Struble,
yeah.
Harris, Struble. So I don't know if they're ready. I don't know. I don't think they are this year. So, but they're all in the pipeline. I think they will. I think the AHL team, the Rocket, I think they're going to have a really good crop of defensemen this year, next year, like going forward. So I think that'll be good.
Yeah.
See, Icht 2002, how's it going, buddy? He thinks KK will be a bust.
I don't think he'll be a bust, but I think the question is, will he reach that next kind of level? Will he progress and reach that next level? I think he can. But again, if he's going to be playing the third line, he's not going to get the playing time that he's wanted. And I don't know who he's going to be playing with. So, again, I don't know. I don't think he's going to be a bust.
I don't think he's a bust. I don't think so either. And he's too young to call him a bust. But he's not calling you saying will be. Yeah, I don't know. I don't think that's fair.
No, I don't think it is
back to Deep B says Dvorak Hoffman. Drew and Dvorak Hoffman would be a better fit. Drew can carry the puck, pass better than Hoffman for one-timers. Yeah, exactly. I don't think Hoffman is the puck carrier. And I think a guy anybody playing on the wing with at least one guy on the wing playing with Dvorak needs to be a guy, or we're best served if he's a guy that is like Drew and moves the puck around and distributes it well and racks up those assists. And I think that's what he needs. Because I think if you look at Hoffman's career, and I don't have it in front of me, but I would have to think that he scores more goals than he gets assists.
He does. Oh, yeah.
So this isn't the guy that you want playing with Dvorak. That's what I think. And I'm sticking to that. Let's see what anti-vaxxers says. Poor goalies with Dvorak and Galley on one.
Yeah.
There you go.
They're going to make the front of the net hell.
Which is why, again, got Gallagher there because Gallagher likes to go to the front of the net. Dvorak likes to be right there. Drew is going to have plenty of targets to hit with passes. There's going to be good opportunities for this line to score some freaking goals.
Not to mention, like, third and fourth line, too. I mean, Anderson and Armia love being in front of the net.
Yep. Yeah, no, listen, I think there's a lot of really good potential for this team to have a lot more offense than they did last year. And one of the maybe the biggest problem they had last year was lack of offense. That and some defensive problems, but I think the lack of offense
and consistency for a full season.
Yeah, so I think Bergevin's taking care of a lot of that. This year we lost a lot of our depth in the minors in defense. I don't know.
We really only lost Cale Fleury, right? Besides,
we lost Fleury. There's somebody else, but I think they're going to be replaced by guys like Harris, Struble, Goalie. So right now, it looks like that. I don't know that once the season gets going, once the camps are done, that'll be the same. So I'd say give that a little bit of time, and I think it might look differently.
Yeah, no, I mean 100%. I think out of that list, I mean I think Goalie probably is the better defender, but yeah, I mean I think defensive depth wise in terms of what we got in the prospect pool, I think it's fine. I mean,
I think in Norlinder and Goalie, you got like legitimate top 4 D-men there. I don't know about Struble and Harris personally. I don't think so.
Yeah, I don't know much about them either, but I'm really high on Norlinder. This kid looks awesome.
Norlinder and Goalie too. I'm high on Goalie. I think Goalie. Listen, if Goalie makes the Laval Rocket and plays there all year, that's a jump. Like he jumped big time. So I mean that talent level. If he has a good season, I mean this kid is legit.
He's pretty built. He's got some size on him too, right? If I'm not mistaken.
He's a big boy, and he's got offense and he's got defense in his game. I mean, he's a legit top 4 guy.
And then like you said, Norlinder's the puck mover that we need.
Yeah. Gislain says Cam Hillis returns to Laval this year. I like Cam Hillis. I like him. I don't know that he'll make it, but I think this kid, he could be a really good third liner. Keep that third line offensive side of it going with a kid like that, and he may be better than that. I don't know. And you never know. We might see a kid like Harvey Pinard. I really like Raphael Harvey Pinard. He's not going to be a superstar, but he's progressing. He's going to be a bottom 6 guy, but a really good bottom 6 guy, like a Paul Byron type of bottom 6 guy with Brendan Gallagher's kind of drive and determination. I like that kid. He's also progressing. Harvey Pinard.
I don't know much about him.
I saw him at first time ever at the Memorial Cup 2 years ago, maybe 3 now. I don't remember. And I just was really impressed with him. Like really impressed with this kid. He is a worker. Like he's like a Brendan Gallagher. He puts up points, and he's a smart player. Like I really like this kid. And when they drafted him in the 7th round, I think I said that's a pick to watch. Harvey, from the day one, I said Harvey Pinard's a pick to watch. So I hope he makes it, and I think he will.
I'd love to hear it.
Just jumped on me. Hang on. Let's see. Hoffman had 1 less assist than goals last year. He's a great passer. To look at his stats.
Okay.
So, okay. I mean, but I still think, I don't know. I still think Drouin is the better guy there.
I mean, Hoffman is a shoot first type of guy, but like I said, I mean, with Dvorak in the center, if he's parked in front of the net, he's there to tap in the junk, if there's rebounds or anything like that. He's also, like I said, he's there, if they work the puck underneath, he's there for that, quick pass to the front.
I've got another aspect to this. Think about it. Hoffman, Dvorak, Gallagher, too many goal scorers, right? So one of them's not going to score as much. So you're taking away goals. So why not take those goals and put them on another line? And then that's another reason why Drouin should be there. Too many goal scorers on one line isn't great either, because you need someone to distribute the puck.
Right.
And I think that's another aspect of it.
No, I agree with you. I like Drouin on that second line. I'm like I said, I'm more thinking like swap Hoffman with Gallagher, but with Gallagher's contract, I kind of can see why you'd put him on the second line.
Gallagher's still going to score. I think he's going to score still 30 plus. Until those numbers consistently have dropped off, I think he still has to be up there, because he's been your main goal scorer. If he isn't still, he is right up there. Yeah, I think he has to be there. I think he's going to get more goals than Anderson or Armia. So, yeah, I think it has to be Gallagher on the second line. Okay, so here about Harris and Struble. They're staying this season?
Oh, they're going to stay in Northeastern? All right.
So
I get to watch them a lot then.
They're still in the pipeline. That's fine. They're still in the pipeline. Goalie
That's good. I'll be able to watch them a lot.
Yeah. Goalie is going to be captain of the World Junior team. I don't know. Was he named that? I think he will be, but I don't know if it's official yet, but he should be captain.
Good. That's really good to hear.
Yeah, I mean, that's another thing on his side that this kid's going to be good. He's already showing it at a really young, like a year earlier than you would expect him to be where he is. He's there, and legitimately so. So, yeah. Just how cool is a better coach for the Rocket than his dad was a general manager? Yeah, I don't know that you can, like, you know what? Don't hold kids to their father's mistakes or sins or whatever you want to call it. That's not fair. I don't think you can judge him based on his father. I don't think so. I would think that the Habs didn't hire another Sylvain Lefebvre like we had. Was it Sylvain Lefebvre? Yeah. Who didn't develop anybody. I don't think they're going to go back to that. So I think I'm going to trust that this kid's probably going to be a good developmental coach. And I'm not going to hold it against him whose dad is. Teasdale, though, got injured again. And I don't know. Teasdale's career is kind of in jeopardy with the injuries. But I think pure talent, Teasdale might have, But Harvey Pinard is one of those guys. Like Gallagher, you can't count him out. The kid puts up points. Doesn't look like a guy maybe that might put up points. He puts up points, man. He in the juniors, I mean, he was scoring 40-odd goals, getting 80 points. He was putting up points. I'm not saying he's going to put up those numbers in the NHL, but I think it's what's going to get him there is that he's very capable. So I like Harvey Pinard. And for me, I think Harvey Pinard, based on the fact that Teasdale's had so many really serious injuries, I think Harvey Pinard makes it. And Teasdale, I still think, is on the fringe right now. Because he hurt himself again. He was coming back and he hurt himself again on I don't know if it was the same knee, but I mean, he's had ACL, MCL on one knee 1 year, which takes a long time to heal up. And I think he did the other knee something similar the year after. Who do you think will win the cup? Oh, boy. Matt, you're tackling that first.
I'm going to go with Colorado. I think it's about time they finally put everything together.
Yeah, you know what? I won't disagree. Yeah.
My only question for them is the goaltending situation. But other than that, they're fine.
But that can be during the season. They could pick somebody up. I mean, that could change.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't think Tampa does it again. I really don't.
No.
I don't think 3 in a row. I don't know that we're going to see another 3, like a real dynasty again.
No, I don't think they'll win 3 in a row. And they, I mean, they lost 3 or 4 good depth pieces this offseason. Guys that were kind of key to
I don't
what
think
they did. So
I don't think they do it again.
I don't think so. I think they'll still be a top team in the league, but I don't think they'll win the cup again.
Yeah. So yeah, Colorado for me works. But you know what? It's really hard to do that so early. So yeah, it's a lot better to wait a little bit, and even then,
exactly.
Who the hell knows? Once the playoffs start, literally, who the hell knows what's going to happen? So, but yeah,
exactly.
I think from here, Colorado.
We know that firsthand.
We do. Drouin will be on the first line, setting up Cole and Suzuki. Nah, I don't see that.
No, I don't want to break up Toffoli, Suzuki, Caufield. I can't do it. I can't bring myself to do it.
I think
the chemistry they have together is too good.
I think Toffoli has better chemistry with them than than Drouin.
We saw it in the playoffs. I mean, that line clicks.
Leskinen, Norlinder, Goalie, Harris, and Struble are some serious up-and-comers. Leskinen is one hell of an offensive defenseman. Didn't Leskinen sign in the KHL? I think Leskinen signed in the KHL. My opinion. I think so. I thought I read that. So, but you're right. I mean, Norlinder, Goalie, Harris, Struble, that's some really good upcoming talent. And I'm sure there's more there as well. So, yeah.
Yeah, he's playing with Jokerit in the KHL, which is the Finnish team in the KHL. So he went back home.
So he went back. I don't know what that means for next season, but for this season, he's not a Hab.
Yeah, he's playing in Finland.
Yeah, sorry, anti-vaxxers. I don't really feel like talking about that guy. Just don't feel like it. That's who we lost. So we lost Leskinen, Olofsson, and Fleury. So I don't think, you know what? Goalie comes in.
Cool. I mean, Norlinder. Yeah.
Norlinder getting closer. I don't think we're worse off at all.
Yeah, that's why I don't really,
No.
I don't really feel sad or anything, about losing Fleury. Like, did I like Carol Fleury? Sure. I mean, I thought he was a decent little defenseman, but the guys we got coming in, it doesn't hurt. It really doesn't.
And when you consider who they could have taken someone more important than Fleury. So I like good.
They could have taken friggin' Carey Price.
Good that it was Fleury. So I don't think it's going to be a problem to lose him in the end. Alan says we have tons of offense. Toffoli, Caufield, Dvorak, Hoffman, Suzuki. Listen, they're literally.
I mean, you can throw Anderson in there too. I think Anderson's good for 20 goals.
Yeah, I'm gonna see how many I have. I gotta find where this thing is. I have a lot of guys possibly getting 20 goals or more. So let's count. Toffoli, Suzuki, Caufield, Dvorak, Gallagher, Hoffman, Anderson. That's it. So for me, I think possibly 7 guys can hit 20 plus goals.
That'd be really nice for a change.
That's awesome. I mean, I have that predicted that I've got 7 guys hitting 20 plus goals. I think that's amazing that you have that potential. So again, we don't have that. We don't necessarily have that go-to guy yet. But man, that scoring is spread out much better than it was last year. The talent level that's on the lines is better. The scoring's better. So I think there's a lot of potential for offense. But again, we don't have that elite guy yet. But I think personally, they're developing.
Yeah, I mean, who knows? I mean, if Caufield keeps progressing in a couple years, I mean, that guy could be Caufield.
2 years between Suzuki and Caufield, and maybe others we don't know in 2 years. I think between those 2 guys in 2, maybe 3 years, you have that player, 2 of them. That go-to guy where you're throwing them out in those situations where you bloody well need a goal. I think now we're developing them. They're legit too, Mm-hmm. I don't think anybody can say Suzuki's not legit. Caufield, sure.
We haven't seen a full season, right?
We don't know yet, but I think what we saw in the playoffs, I think Caufield is legit. We don't know if he's that elite scorer yet. That's all. But he's a legit NHL player and a good one.
Oh yeah, his hockey IQ is through the roof. I mean, it really is for a kid of his age. And I love his playmaking ability too.
And he's got playmaking ability. Nobody thought he had. That was the knock on him. He's not a playmaker. He's not going to have the defensive and physical play because of his size. But
he can make some pretty damn crisp passes when he needs to.
Yeah, he's a much better playmaker than going into last season in college. And I remember reading that he said that is an aspect of his game he was going to be working on, and you can see that it's paying off because his playmaking ain't bad.
Oh, he had some nice assists in playoffs. I mean, really nice passes.
His vision, he knows where to be. He picks up so quickly on what's going to happen and gets there. It's amazing. The decision-making, the time, the speed, like Suzuki, I mean, like a lot of hockey players these days, but I mean, these guys are, I find, exceptional. They're the decision making so fast, and you
Oh
can
yeah.
see it happening. You can see it happening with them. That they've made the decision and boom, gone in like that. I love to see that. It's
Oh
so
yeah.
good. Listen, I grew up in the 70s. If you look at 70s hockey and today hockey, it looks like it's on in slow motion in the 70s. So
Oh yeah.
that's why for me it's so amazing to see how fast these guys process the game. I'm
Oh yeah, and
very
again,
impressed with
a
that.
kid his age of only like 20 years old,
Yeah,
the fact that he already has the ability to do these things, and not to mention his hands too. He has sick hands.
sick hands. And you know what? Some of the goals that
But so
he
does Suzuki.
didn't
Oh
get,
my
like
god.
some of those shots that he wasn't connecting on, that you saw him do in college. I don't put it past this kid. Within 2 years, those shots he's missing last season or right now that he was connecting on in college, he's going to start connecting on in the big leagues.
Oh yeah,
It's just a matter of an
without
adjustment
a
for him.
doubt. And you want
And
to talk about quick releases too? I mean, you brought this up many
lightning
times in
speed.
the playoffs. Oh,
I've seen some fast, quick releases, but man, I don't know. I don't know if it's unbiased about it because I really like the kid and he's a Hab, but I don't know that I've ever seen such a quick release as Caufield has, like lightning speed. So
he can elevate the damn thing too. Like it's
yep.
on and off his stick, and it's under the. I mean, that goal
accurate.
against Laner, just
And
that whole thing, tipping the puck past the D man, beating him to it, and just roofing it like that in a split second. Beautiful.
Accurate. Well, what is this? How would you feel if he was a playoff player like Krejci? Who are we talking about?
Oh, what's up, Cam?
I'm not sure who we're talking about. Jay Batts. Is that your friend? Oh, that's your
Cam's
friend. What's he talking about? You got to tell us who you're talking about. I'll remember eventually, Cam, that you're his buddy. I'll get it. Don't worry. This year's squad really impresses me. We are better than last year. I think so. I don't think it's like leaps and bounds, but you know what? I think there's a potential here, and simply the addition of Dvorak, what a true second line center can bring to you, is like the difference is kind of like leaps and bounds, right? So it depends how that works out. But I think the potential for Montreal to actually be a good bit better than last year is there. I don't know if it'll happen. That's all.
I mean, like we said, I think I'm pretty confident in saying I think the power play is going to be much better. I mean, just on paper.
And the offense in general. I mean, the offense in general, which was a big freaking. How many games did we lose because we couldn't score a freaking goal?
Oh, I know.
So I don't think that's going to be a problem this year.
Like I said, that consistency though, because we jump out to these fast starts where we can't stop scoring, and then it goes away. And I don't know if that was a lack of goal scorers or what. But now all throughout the lineup, we got guys that can hit 20 goals. We should be able to score, 2 or 3 goals a game, for Christ's sake.
This is what I see as a difference for offense for me. Is we didn't have the enough consistent guys. I mean, this is why they weren't stars, right? To put the puck in the net regularly. I'm not saying we do have that now, but the crop that we have now are more consistent. They score more, so there's more consistency in the goal scoring, and that's going to be a huge difference, and it's going to win more games. That's it. The defense, I think the defense also potentially can be better because the fact of, I think a lot of us are forgetting, and I was until I saw a comment somewhere, I think on Twitter, and it's like, that's true. And that's about Weber. During the season, we were all talking about, man, we need Weber out of here, right? So really, during the season, Weber didn't give us what I think David Savard's going to give us.
Right. And like we said, we know why that was now.
Right. So that's going to improve the goals against. So, I think we're way better off. It just has to be proved out on the ice. I mean, that's all.
Exactly.
We can talk about it and all that, but it does have to be proved out on the ice. But I can really see this happening. All right, let's get to
Cam's talking about Cole Caufield.
Cole Caufield there? Okay, let's put it up. How would you feel if he was a player like Krejci? Okay, you're more in Boston. I know Krejci, but not well enough to comment on that. Is that good or bad? Was Krejci, did he step up his game in the playoffs? I don't remember, to be honest with you.
He can. He definitely has. Again, he's only played, Caufield's only has a small sample size, so we won't really know until we get a full season.
But
potentially another playoff run. Again, we won't know that, but I mean, just last playoffs, he turned it up big time.
He stepped it up. He did. He showed right in his first playoffs. He showed that he can step up his game.
Oh, he ruined the Golden Knights.
So
he ruined the Golden Knights.
I think that what's his name? Caufield. I heard in an interview once, probably last summer, where he says he puts more pressure on himself to score than any fans or anything. He doesn't worry about any of that, right? He puts that pressure on himself. He can handle pressure. So he can step up. This is a guy that can step up, and I believe he will. He'll be one of those guys when it comes down to crunch time and you're in the playoff mode. He's playing better than he was earlier, I hope it continues in his career because it's only been the one season, but
like quarter. What would you even call it? Like a quarter of a season?
But he thrives on pressure.
Right.
He says he thrives on it. He wants the pressure. He lives for that. It makes him play better. This is a guy that, I don't know, kind of like the sky's the limit for a guy like that, especially if you add 3-4 inches on him. But still,
especially in this market, I mean, it's almost like a match made in heaven.
Yeah, I mean, this guy's got the determination and the skill to get the job done. The only worry, again, is his size and if he can get hurt. But, there's plenty of players that have played at that size that they got through. Like, I don't know. Take a look.
Well, I know Brian Giunta was only like 5'8".
Well, I'm going to Marty St. Louis.
Or St. Louis, yeah.
Years. I don't remember Marty St. Louis maybe once having that kind of a serious injury where he missed significant time or a whole season or a half a season.
Right.
Like he had regular injuries. I don't remember that being that small, he got beat up all the time. Like, I don't remember that. So, like, we don't know. Knockwood, Caufield will not have that.
And I also think he's so fast and he's so good on his skates.
He's crafty.
I think he could dodge a lot of stuff like that or just blow past people.
He's like sly and crafty, and he knows how to get out of the way a lot. He'll get hit, but yeah, I think he'll be okay. That's my only worry for Caufield.
Yeah. Can you imagine if we had like another 4 or 5 inches on him and he was like 6'1"? Oh, that'd be something nice.
Hey, Slinksy. Let me see. There's 2 from. No, got the wrong.
Yeah. So that's what we're talking about. Yeah, about Krejci. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, but I know this one I want. Are you talking about Dick Duff? Who's talking about Dick Duff? Wait a second. I want to figure this one out. This was the first one. When I think about Russ Courtnall, yes, he was fast, but I remember forever the Pat Burns comment about Russ. Wait, where is this the comment? No. What was the comment about Russ Courtnall? I like Russ Courtnall. Some people don't, but I think it's people were jealous that he was a good-looking guy. We have 4 lines that can score. Look at our 4th line wingers. They don't scare me getting stuck on the ice for the opponent's top line. Lehkonen and Armia. I think those are good wingers on the 4th line. What do you think? I mean, I think they'll be the wingers.
I mean, Lehkonen almost played first line minutes in the playoffs. I think Lehkonen's up for any challenge.
And Armia was fantastic on the 4th line in the playoffs.
Oh, Armia's a beast. He's a beast on the forecheck too. I mean, he gets in there, grind you up against the boards, he'll remove you from the puck. He'll skate in, smash you away from the puck, and then score.
They can feed it down to someone. And they can score. I think that 4th line. I'm okay with that 4th line.
Yeah. No, I love Lehkonen and Armia. I think they're very, very good depth pieces. I mean, they really are, and they can play anywhere. That's the thing. They're like Swiss Army knives almost. You know what I mean? Because they can like Lehkonen can play on the pen. He's a great penalty killer.
Yep. Lehkonen can play any line, and on either side, Armia can play any line, no problem. So yeah, and then Byron when he comes back, and we've got some good players. Alan says the goal scoring will make up for the defense. I think we're going to get more goals. But like we just said, I don't think the defense is going to be as much of a problem, I guess you'd say, than last year in the defensive side. So I think we're going to give up less goals, and I think that's going to help. My worry with the defense is, as I said the other day, about
it's a puck mover. I get that.
Getting the puck up to the forwards on the rush, to help the scoring. Like, I think that's where the problem lies. So I think offensively, our defense is great, but they don't really have to be. And I think defensively, I actually think we might be better.
Yeah, I mean, look, the first D pair I think is going to be Petrie Edmondson.
Yeah,
and
I'm not. Yeah.
They're both. I mean, I think Petrie's a top 15 D man in the league. I mean, I think he's very underrated. I think he's a lot better than what people give him credit for. And Joe Edmondson, no nonsense guy. He goes out, he plays terrific defense.
Yeah,
his plus minus is insane. And I love David Savard in the second line. I think Savard's a great stay at home guy.
Edmondson, probably of the defensemen that are there this year, I think Edmondson is the second best offensive defenseman, and he's not a big, but I mean he's capable of 20 points, 20-odd points.
Right, but like as you say, I think defensively, I think we're gonna be fine. Like I said, the defensive ability of Edmondson, Savard, Petrie, I mean, I think is fine. And I think they're great in their own zone.
And Romanov is going to be in the second year. Is going to be better.
Yeah, he loves throwing that. Oh, can he hit people?
Yeah, I like Kulak. I like Kulak.
I don't mind Kulak. I really don't. I think he's a decent little D man.
You just said you don't like Kulak.
I said I don't mind Kulak.
Oh, okay. I thought you don't like Kulak, but he's a decent.
No, I don't mind him. He's a good third line D man.
I think so. So I think we're good. And Sherrod is Sherrod.
Yeah.
I think on the second line.
Cut the penalties out.
And he's better served. To me, he's better served as the second line guy.
Yeah, but he's gonna cut the penalties out.
Third, but I think he's better served for some of the things we don't like about Sherrod on the second pairing for a little bit less minutes and maybe a little bit less responsibility.
A little bit less likely to take a stupid penalty.
And hopefully he'll cut down on those. But you know what?
Because that's my only gripe with him. He cuts down on the penalties. I think he's golden.
But you got to think about it. It's kind of part of his job, though. I know we don't like it, but it is kind of part of the stuff that causes that. It's what his job is. I don't know that he can help it a lot, but, he is who he is. I don't mind Sherrod. I don't hate him as much as Pete does. I think it's Pete that doesn't. Or is it Pete or Shamir doesn't like Sherrod? It's Shamir.
Peter loves Sherrod. Peter has a crush on
Shamir does not like Sherrod. That's who it was. Yeah.
No, I like Sherrod. I needs to cut back on the stupid penalties, but other than that, I think he's fine. I think he's a fine D man. Yeah, I think defensively, I think we'll be fine. I think we'll be all right.
Pat Burns' comment on Russ Courtnall. I remember this now. Russ is the only player in the NHL that you can put a dozen eggs in his pants at the beginning of a game, and none will be broken at the end. Not a physical player. I'll give you that. But again, speedy guy. I mean, this guy his game was speed. So he avoided getting hit. And I don't think he looked to play that game. He wasn't a physical player. So, okay. But I mean, listen, the guy had one season. Didn't he have 60 points or 70? 20 goals and either 40 or 50 assists. One season. He had a really good season here. And, he wasn't here that long. I thought he was actually in Montreal longer. I think it was just 3 seasons, 2.5 seasons, something like that. But the girls loved him. I know my girlfriend at the time did. Okay. Ellen, Caufield reminds me of Denis Savard. He was so fast, great scorer. Yeah, I don't know. Savard, not really for me, Savard. Remember, Savard was more of a distributor of the puck. Right? He'd come over the line, and he'd do the spinorama and wait for everyone to get caught up and in place, and then he'd distribute the puck. So I don't know that I'd see him like.
Well, speed-wise, I can see.
Speed-wise, size-wise, he wasn't a big guy, Savard. A little bigger than Caufield, but I mean, not a lot. But I don't know, totally different kind of offense, I think. Right? I mean, Savard was known. Over the line, did the curl. almost all the time.
Oh yeah.
At the dot at the top, he'd come in and spin somewhere around there, and everyone would get in. That's how I saw it, and that was mostly his game. So no, I don't really agree with you there, which is okay. We're allowed to disagree. Kulak will probably be 17-man. I don't know. I think a lot of people are thinking Wideman because of his numbers last year in the KHL, but that doesn't.
I'm not that high on
Wideman.
Wideman. I'm really not. I think Wideman's probably the 7th D man.
Look at his numbers when he was here before. Not great. I don't know. I think in the KHL they could be a bit elevated. So I don't know. I think it's a possibility he wins the job over Kulak, but I'm not sold on that. I like Kulak better.
Yeah, I like Kulak Sherrod on that third pair and then bump Romanov up with Savard. I think that'd be good, but would Romanov go to the second pair? I don't know, but that's where I would like him.
I think at some point during the season, I think it might be possible we see that. I really do.
I think a pairing of Romanov and Savard would actually be pretty nice.
I think so.
Not gonna lie, I think that'd be very nice.
I think it splits up the puck movers much better and much more efficient for the team. I really do. So I think I agree with you. Anti-vaxxers like Courtnall, but he loved Kordic and was sad when they traded him. But think about that. Think about what you said, because the Courtnall for Kordic trade to me is one of the most lopsided trades in the history of trades. I don't know what Toronto was thinking. Take Kordic back for Courtnall. I mean, Kordic's fights were awesome. Yes, guy couldn't play hockey, and Courtnall was a pretty damn good hockey player.
What era was this? This is what, like the 80s? Yeah. So I mean, you didn't have to play hockey in the 80s. You just had to fight.
I think it was the 80s. Yeah.
Yeah. So I mean, you didn't have to be a good hockey player in the 80s.
No, you didn't have to be a physical hockey player, right?
You didn't have to be a good hockey player. They just fought all the time.
Well, okay, but Courtnall.
But I know what you mean.
Courtnall put up points. Kordic put up penalty minutes. But that's it. So no, I mean, didn't dislike Kordic, but I mean, that was a super lopsided trade. Too bad Kordic was abusing steroids. I don't know about the cocaine if that was proven, but I mean, probably. Especially in those days, cocaine was bigger than it is today. But steroids, yeah, for sure. It was roid rage. He roid raged a lot, apparently. So I feel bad for the guy, to be honest with you. Pat Burns also gave Courtnall his famous nickname, the Deer, because he was jumping over the tackles on the board to continue his push to the offensive zone. And nothing wrong with that. Why does the guy have to get hit if he can get out of it and get moving forward? I don't think anything wrong with that. It's not like he was an antagonistic kind of player where kind of like Claude Lemieux, who would start shit and then would turtle.
So at
least that.
Like what Brad Marchand does.
Yeah, exactly. That's true. That's what Lemieux used to do. He started shit, man. He started a lot of shit, but never stood up for it.
Yeah, I remember this one highlight. The play was dead, and Marchand punched the guy in the face and then hid behind Chara. Yeah, it's like...
Sounds like Marchand to me.
Come on.
The chef says, honestly, I watch a lot of KHL, and the level isn't that far from the NHL. I think Wideman on third out pairing and second power play, he can put up 30, 35 points in limited time. I'll say this. If Wideman really has he has a good camp, okay, I get it. You might be right. For me, it's unknown because if his stats before he went to the KHL were shit. In the KHL, he put up some good numbers. It could just be his age and that he's matured and he's become a better defenseman. I'm going to give him that and see how he does in camp, but I don't know. He's, to me, a bit of an unknown. I'm going to go by what he's done. So that's why, I said that. So, but yeah, I mean, if he has a really good camp, I think you could be right. So I'm not ruling him out.
Right. But yeah, I agree with you, Rick. Until we see that, I got to think Kulak, makes that third pair over him.
Well, we'll find out in camp, right? Well, I'm sure they're going to be trying him out.
Right.
They know Kulak. Kulak, they know. So Weidman's going to probably get more time than Kulak. I would expect, right? So
Right.
we're going to find out. I know, Lechef, I know that the KHL is not that it's bad. I didn't say that. I know it's a good league. I'm just saying it doesn't always translate, especially I think for defensemen, those good numbers in the KHL to the NHL.
They also have a lot more room to skate and shit over in Europe. The rinks are a lot bigger.
It doesn't always translate. It does sometimes. I'm not saying it won't, but I don't know if it will. Russ Cordell was a great player, sexy as hell. See what I mean? Women loved him. He was my favorite Hab. I like Shane Corson too. Love Shane Corson. I like Cordell and I love Shane Corson. That's the reason why actually on this shirt, so it's the shirts for the channel, the player has number 27 on him. It's the reason why I picked that picture. It's for Cordell. I like to wear 27 when I play hockey because of Shane Corson, not Cordell, excuse me, Corson. Cordell.
Rick, you can still skate on that knee.
No, well, right now, no, it gets picked, hopefully. What number was Cordell? Anybody know? Leave me a comment. If somebody gets it, I'm going to say congratulations. That's about it. But do you know what number he was? Claude Pepe Lemieux. There's another one. Where did he get the nickname Pepe? Pepe Le Pew. But did he stink? Like, I don't know where he got that nickname, but that was his nickname. So I think Pete's confirmed. Oh, I clicked on it. What happened? Pete's confirming it's the 80s. Didn't some of the best come out of the 80s? Goon protected the talent. It was different hockey, though. I mean, it was different. 80s was totally different hockey. All offense. Look at the numbers for some of the goalies in the 80s. Atrocious. Like, I saw some goalies, if I'm not wrong, like with 6s and 8, like that's their average.
But in a lot of the superstars too, like I think Gretzky was getting like 200 points a season or something. It
was the 80s. It was all offense. It was all offense, man. So yeah, that's why I'm saying, like when I said earlier when we started about Suzuki, if he gets 75 points, that's elite level today. It wasn't in the 80s. In the 80s, we had like 10 or 20 guys every year hit 100 points or more. It was crazy. And 50 goals was, there were multiple guys with 50 goals a year. So now, some years even we don't, there's been a year recently where we didn't get a 100-point player. Am I right?
I think so.
Like recently, there was a year there wasn't a 100-point guy. In the 80s, it was, like I said, 10 to 20 of them. The numbers were crazy. So different game. Totally different game. And I think that has a lot to do with goaltending coaching. And because I think like in the 70s, up until then, goalies didn't really have coaches. Not like they do.
Not only that, but they didn't really have the butterfly back then either. They were stand up.
Very true. So till Patrick Waugh came in.
Yeah, I mean, you shot the puck low 9 times out of 10, it's going in.
Well, like Esposito used it sometimes. Like Esposito would use the butterfly sometimes. There were a couple of guys that kind of used it sometimes, but Patrick Waugh was the first one to mostly use it. He didn't always, if you go and look, it's not the same. If you compare Carey Price with Patrick Waugh, totally different styles. Like Carey Price, it's all that butterfly, being in the right position, all that. Patrick Waugh was a little bit of both, right? He's a little bit of stand-up.
Yeah, he's a hybrid.
And a little bit of positional butterflies, it was kind of
he's a hybrid. He's definition of a hybrid goalie.
Yeah, he was just the first one really to make that butterfly.
Right. But yeah, I know like up until then, it was mostly stand-up, right?
But since then, you got goalie coaches specific to these guys, and they're being trained differently, and that's why the goaltending is so much better and the numbers are different. And yeah, I don't think it'll ever go backward because the goalies are so much better today. I think that's what it is. And I challenge you, go look at stats from the 80s. The goalies' numbers were ridiculous. Ridiculous.
Oh, I believe it. I mean, I've seen old film where, like, all you got to do is shoot low and they can't. You know what I mean? They weren't using the butterfly, so they would just stick the skate out, but 9 times out of 10, the shot's going so fast, it just goes in.
Stand-up goalies. Now, like, okay, when I was a kid growing up, sure, Dryden was a stand-up goalie. He was great. But you look at it today, and you see stand-up goalies like the great Ken Dryden, and you go, wow, he looks bad. Like that was bad. And that's just the difference today with goaltending. And I think Dryden would tell you, I don't think Dryden had a specific coach. A lot of what he did, he learned. He had some coaching, but it wasn't like today. And I remember in his books, he described how a lot of what he did it wasn't a conscious effort. His body knew where to go. He saw the puck. His body did it on its own. That's how he describes it. It wasn't it wasn't where Carey Price is positional. He's in position. He knows where to be. It's different. It's not the same way to think. And so I don't know. Am I making any sense? I don't know.
No, you're making sense.
Sometimes I just don't know. Okay, anti-vaxxers got it right. Let's see if anybody else got it before him. I'm Nub Newbie got the number right. Gabriel got it right. Sean, I'm going up the thing to see who got it first. Shamir got it. I think Ghislain got it. I think maybe Ghislain got it first. So yeah, Ghislain got it first. So Ghislain, you win. The number is 6. Courtnall Weber's number 6. So anybody who didn't like Russ Courtnall, it would be like blasphemy. But yeah. All right. Do I think Suzuki can hit the 100 points mark at least one time in his career? When I first heard of Nick Suzuki, so I guess 2 years ago when I was doing this, I was kind of new to this. I was still a fan, thinking like a fan. And I said, yeah, I think he can. I don't know that at this point. I think it's possible, but I don't know that he does it. I think realistically, Nick Suzuki is probably somewhere between 70 and 85 points as his low and high as a regular thing going forward. But you know what? You never know with a guy. A guy like that could have 1 year where maybe his wingers are that much better and just everything works out and he hits that 100. But I'm going to say no at this point. What do you think, Matt?
Oh, I agree. I mean, I think maybe I maybe say maybe 90 might be his high, but again, it depends on who he's playing with. I mean, listen, if he and Caufield continue developing the way they're developing, with the two of them playing together, I mean, the sky's the limit.
I still see him then, point to game kind of numbers.
Yeah.
You might be right on the high of 90, but 100 points today, I don't know yet that's Nick Suzuki is that player. I think
not yet.
I think that, yes, he could develop into that player. I don't know yet, but I don't really see it yet. So I came down on my predictions for that, and we'll see how that works out. But I think kind of the sky's the limit for a guy like Nick Suzuki, and we just don't know. It's only his third season coming up. He's still really young, and hard to judge that for him yet. Some guys, yeah, you can tell that they're going to be great. But, I mean, even with Nathan McKinnon, third season, did you know he was going to be a 100-point player? I don't know if that's the case.
Right.
And he hasn't hit 100. He got 99. He hasn't hit 100.
No, he hasn't. I mean, Connor McDavid, I think it's just a freak of nature.
Yeah, so I'm definitely going to say no. But I think, is it possible? Yeah. But I'm going to say no on that. I think that's fair. I'm just trying to find. It's all numbers now. Matt was saying that all you needed to do was fight. Pete says that's what you were saying. I don't remember you saying that.
Yeah, I mean, in the 80s, if you knew how to fight, you didn't know. You didn't really need to know how to play hockey. You just had to be able to get out there and fight.
I'm going to disagree with that, and only in this way. It was goon hockey, and every team had at least one, if not two or three.
Usually more. Usually about 3 or 4.
Well, not always in the lineup every night.
Right.
But 2 or 3 or 4, like you said, that would be in the lineup on any given night. So it was kind of goon hockey. There was a lot more fighting. A lot more fighting. So, I don't know that Matt's wrong. Right? I don't think you're wrong. The 80s, there was a lot of fighting in the 80s. Don't you think?
Oh my God, yeah.
I don't know what you've seen. I don't know. You weren't really around for, but I mean, if you watched,
Oh no, I mean my dad would tell me, he's like, yeah, every once in a while a hockey game would break out.
It's true though. It's true. I mean, look at the.
I mean, look at the Bruins against the big bad Bruins against the Broad Street Bullies. I mean, half the damn games were just fights. It was a fight fest.
The Good Friday Massacre was 1984.
Yeah.
That's Montreal, Quebec. If you don't know what that is, it's on YouTube. Look it up and watch. The Good Friday Massacre is probably the most unbelievable bench clearing brawl that you'll ever see. And Montreal and Quebec, who would have thunk it? But yeah, there were plenty of games that, like you said, there was. I went to the fights and a hockey game broke out.
Exactly.
You know, that's kind of what it was like. So yeah, the 80s. Yeah, Pete, I mean, you were around. You know, the 80s was full of fights.
I mean, even like the late 70s, too.
Jay Batts has the reason Claude Lemieux was called Pepe Le Pew. He says because he farted a lot. I think that is right. I think now that he said it, I think it brings rings a bell. So I think that might be right.
Hold on. I gotta look at what year was it that the entire Bruins team brawled the fans? I mean, for God's sake.
Oh, I remember that someone threw a shoe at them or something at the coach.
Yeah, and then then everybody jumped the boards and they started fighting in the face.
Yeah,
and I was like, great, yay, this is hockey.
And we said, of course, it's the Bruins. Who else would freaking do that? Yeah, I'll never remember that. And that was the 80s.
I think it was.
Terry O'Reilly.
It was 1979. Yeah, so late 70s.
79. There you go.
Yeah, it was Terry O'Reilly. Yeah, it was against the Rangers. Yeah, so I went through a shoe at. Who the hell was?
I forget who the Madison. Madison Square Garden, of course.
Yeah, they just jumped. They literally tore the boards down and started fighting. It was kind of funny.
Oh, I think I answered this. I thought, is that someone else?
Yeah, we did.
Or I answered it, and I'm just.
You probably put it back up by mistake.
Back up. Stacking the pads big before that to cut off.
Yeah.
Yeah. The pad stack, which you don't see a lot this year. I mean, now, that was a regular thing.
Oh, yeah.
That, or
early 2000s, too, from like 2000 to like 2008, all the time.
Yeah. Stand-up goaltending is different. That's all I can say. And it doesn't. You see stand-up goalies from the day today, and they just look horrible. And you know, kids today would look, oh, Ken Dryden, I heard so much, or whatever. I'm gonna see some video on, and he looks horrible. Like, that's a great goalie? No, not really. But in the day, it was.
They probably also stood up because they didn't have masks on. Well, actually, Dryden, I think, wore a mask, but
yeah.
But like before that, they had to stand up because they didn't have masks on. If you go down to the butterfly, you're gonna get hit right in the mush.
Yeah, and that's what happened when not the butterfly, but they ended up having to flop around. They'd be down and boom, get a puck right in the face.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that's why they always said you got to be special to be a goalie. Something that they're different, and you got to be in the day. Now you got all the equipment; it's not the same. But when you weren't wearing a freaking mask,
yeah, but you still got guys that can rip the puck 100+ miles an hour. It's not going to tickle.
No, but I mean, you're not going to get killed. It's a bit.
No, different. But you could get pretty badly concussed.
But I mean, it's different if you're looking at a puck without a mask coming at your face, or you got a mask on with a good cage. I mean, it's a difference. I'm the same, man. I wouldn't have gone. I would not have. I'm trying to remember when I played. I played this one game when I was really young. We rented ice, the neighborhood kids, and they threw me in net because I was one of the youngest kids. And I had all the pads and everything. I think I had a mask. I'm pretty sure I did. It was 1974 or 74. Yeah, they were wearing masks. I was wearing a mask, but yeah, I didn't get one in the face. But you know, you gotta. When you're stepping in front of a puck like that, it's I don't know, it's not easy. Your first instinct is to duck or move out of the way, right? I mean, it's your first instinct.
Oh yeah,
not
that actually happened.
In the way of this thing.
Oh God, I think it was two or 3 years ago. We were playing the Capitals. It was like Samsonov's rookie year, and he saw Weber wind up to rip a bomb, and he just ducked his head the other way.
No, I've seen that. I've seen goalies do it.
Yeah,
it happened where it's right at their head and they got whatever. But I mean, it is your first instinct on anything like that coming to you to get out of the way somehow. So it takes something.
And I don't blame the guy. I don't want 108-mile-an-hour vulcanized rubber coming at my face, even if I'm wearing a mask.
It takes balls to stand in front of that. It does.
I mean, he hit Crawford in the head with one, and it knocked Crawford like over on his ass.
No, it definitely does. But it's a bit like even Dryden. When Dryden got, well, look at Jerry Cheevers actually.
Yeah.
Remember his mask? Because your body.
Yeah.
No, remember all the stitches on it?
Yeah.
But that mask too, like if he got hit with a slap shot at 100 miles an hour,
probably would have shattered the mask.
He'd still be getting stitches.
Oh yeah.
Whereas today you're not. You're not getting stitches. Your bell's rung a bit. Yes.
Probably gonna have a headache after the game.
Yeah, I mean, you could get a concussion. That's true. You could, but I mean, it's not like getting your face busted open.
Yeah, that was Jacques Plante. Was it Jacques Plante that got his face busted open, and that's why the mask came
That's
in?
why the mask. What happened was he developed.
Because I saw what he looked like after that. Like it looked like his face just kind of went.
Actually, you know what? I'm gonna tell this story. So give a thumbs up if you're having a good time. Subscribe, ring the notifications bell, and hey, it's a membership drive. You might want to join. You could win a hat like Matt's wearing because he won one. So on the Jacques Plante. So what happened with that is he developed a mask. It was the first fiberglass or something like that mask. There had been a guy, Clint or Kurt Benedict, something like that wore a leather mask for like 3 games in the 30s, I think. And it was too uncomfortable, and he stopped.
Oh God, yeah, you could with all the sweat and shit. Oh,
right. So
that must not have been nice. That thing must have smelled horrible too after the game.
Jacques Plante developed the mask, and he wore it in practice because who was the coach? Toe Blake? I don't know if it was Toe Blake or Dick Irvin. Wouldn't let him wear it in a game. So he took a puck to the face and had I don't know how many stitches. And
it went all the way down his face. Like he was
all the way down his nose, like a long face. So he wouldn't come out unless it got stitched up, and he wouldn't come back out. And those days, they only carried one goalie. So if your goalie got hurt where he couldn't come back, you had to take the emergency guy that was in the stands. They always had one. So it wasn't great. So he said he wouldn't come back unless he could wear the mask. Coach said no. He said, well, I'm not playing. And coach gave in and let him wear it. And the agreement was that he could wear it until his face healed. When the face healed, he had to take it off. He played 3 games, I think, and he was horrible. And the coach told him to put it back on. And that's how it happened. And that's the first match.
Yeah. No, and I know because I mean, I've seen the picture of his face. I mean, it looked like his face just exploded. Like his nose just exploded.
Imagine you got to go back in.
Fuck no.
Even with a mask, I say no. But Jacques Plante had balls, right? Goalies then had balls, man. They get hurt.
And even hockey players. I mean, were hockey players wearing helmets then? Or was that
true.
Still...
That's, but it's still not exactly the same. But
right.
Seriously, goalies had balls because, man, you get hit and hurt and then go back in. I don't know I mean, it's better because it's like they say you got to get back on the horse. If you get thrown, get back on right away. So it's kind of like that, I guess. But still, I don't know that I'd have the balls to get back in after getting hit in the face. Nope.
I mean, you'd probably be knocked out.
Well, yeah. Although, remember, they didn't have the curved stick and they didn't have the slap shot as much. Like,
they could still rip it, though. Guys could still rip it.
Still not the same thing.
I mean, today with the carbon fiber sticks, I mean, but still, I mean, it's still a pretty hard shot.
Since we're talking about this shit, remember this? Were you old? I don't know if you remember.
I've seen the pictures. Yeah.
Scariest moment in hockey. Clint Malarchuk slices his neck open. Now, I want to say I was probably in my teens when that happened. Saw it live. Unbelievable. That's the most unbelievable, scary thing I had seen in hockey at that point. I don't know if I've seen other things that are as bad, but oh my God.
I saw Zednik get his neck cut open live. That was
one.
Bad.
That one was bad, yep. But that was the first one, Malarchuk. And that's
Yeah.
the reason why goalies now,
They have the
that
plastic
flappy
neck
thing
piece.
there,
Yeah.
that's for that. It's also so they don't get a puck in the neck.
There's also like a piece of padding that's like on the top of the.
And then after that, when that happened, when you playing even old timers hockey, you had to wear a thing around your neck. I had one of these things that Velcroed on my neck.
There's a piece of padding like that. I know Bryce wears one underneath the flappy piece.
You weren't allowed
and
to
it protects
play
right here.
You weren't allowed to play without it for old timers. So that was in like the cage, and you had to have that. It was also for a puck in the neck or a skate blade. And that's because of Malarchuk. That's the reason why that happened.
Well, speaking of puck in the neck, that was a Canadians player too. I forget who it was who took the slap shot to the neck that almost killed him.
Sheldon, can't remember his last name.
I think it ended his career though, right? Did it not?
Yeah, McCleary.
Yeah,
McCleary. Sheldon, that's who got it in the neck. He got rushed up to the hospital. If they didn't,
I've seen the actual highlight of that. That was bad.
Yeah, if they didn't get him there when they he would have died because his larynx was crushed. Yeah,
I think Malarchuk too had his fingers in his neck.
Trent
McCleary.
Right? And he did play again, but not much, and like a few games, I think, and that was it. He was done. So yeah, it ended his career.
I mean, even just to come back after that, just for a couple games. I mean, that takes stones.
It does. Malarchuk too. Didn't he come back?
Yeah. Well, I know same thing. I think happened with Zednik, but when Malarchuk got his throat cut, he stuck his finger up and into the wound to pinch off the artery so he wouldn't bleed out.
He saved himself, and then they did it. Like he got to the bench, if I'm correct.
And then the trainer did it. Yeah.
And if he didn't get himself to the bench, he was dead.
Yeah. It was the same thing with Richard Zednik.
Yeah. When Zednik didn't get to the bench, he would have died.
He did the same thing. He got his finger up in there, pinched it, and then they got him with the.
He was holding it and he got to the bench. Yeah. He would have died if he didn't get there because they wouldn't have been able to stop it quick enough. So to think, but it's I think those are the worst things I've ever seen in hockey.
Oh, easily.
That I've seen. I'm not saying I might have not seen things that were as bad. I don't know, but those were the worst things I've seen. Like I saw them live. The McCleary thing, the Zednik, and the Malarchuk. I saw them all live. So, and you don't see that today anymore because of that happened, and they wear that protection now.
Yeah, and I remember the Zednik because they panned the camera away from it when it happened. I could just say the commentary. I'm like, what the hell happened? They pan back. There's a trail of blood.
And him rushing to
all the way to the. I was like, oh my God.
Yeah.
He's going to die. Like, that's what I thought. I was like,
oh, yeah.
He's going to bleed out. That.
Oh, listen, Malarchuk, too. I was sure he was going to die. That much blood? It's just pouring out of the guy.
Yeah, I think Zednik lost, like, 6 liters of blood out of, like, the 9 in the human body or something like that. It's something crazy.
Lost most of the blood in the body. Malarchuk, too. But they survived, and they continued their career. Trent McCleary survived, but he didn't really but Zednik did. Zednik played for a long time after.
Oh, yeah.
And Malarchuk
got a huge scar that just goes from, like, all the way down here.
Looked like he got hung from the front.
Which is crazy, because he didn't, like, the skate didn't even go across. It just touched him. Like, that's just how scary, sharp the skates are.
Yep.
Like, it doesn't even have to, like, slice you. It just has to touch you in the wrong place.
Hey, GM, thank you so much. Appreciate that. Great show, guys. Keep up the good work. Awesome. Thank you so much. Appreciate it. We're having fun. But we're gonna be going soon. But yeah. And this will be weekly. I think I'm not sure. I gotta ask the members if they prefer this where it's an open chat or the members only chat. I kind of think this works better. So I'm trying it. And it gets out there. YouTube actually puts it out there. And because the members only stuff, they don't give notifications. I end up talking to myself, me and Matt, or Franco usually shows up, and that's it. So this is a lot better.
Oh man.
Oh,
yeah, there's been some.
Sorry, that's interesting. I worked at golf in Raphael '93, met all the Habs. Great memories. I used to do deliveries in '93. I was doing a lot of deliveries for some reason. I don't remember why. I was up there a lot in Il Bizarre. That's in Il Bizarre. And I know where Carbonell lived. He lived like basically across the street. There was a bunch of streets, and he lived in one of them there. A really nice house. I had a regular delivery to like 3 houses away from Carbonell. Never saw him though. And I used to stop there and wait and like, okay, I'll spend like 5 minutes and see maybe I'll catch a glimpse of him. Never saw him. But I knew it was his house, and it was St. Raphael was right there.
You should tell the Guy Lafleur story
No,
when you're at the RMV.
Wow.
That's funny.
Okay, last story, and then we'll go. Everybody knows Guy Lafleur, all time my favorite hockey player. I would love to meet him. So I was married when I was married. My wife was getting her license renewed, so we're at the license bureau. So I sit down and wait. We sit down and we gotta wait in line, whatever our number to be called. So I'm sitting down, and across from me is a guy that I can't decide if he's Guy Lafleur or not, because it depends on where he's looking and what he's like. He's Guy Lafleur. No, that's not Guy Lafleur. It's Guy Lafleur. So I can't decide, and I don't go talk to him. Like, and I mean like a half an hour this is going on. Like half an hour, he's in front of me. So he goes up ahead of us. He gets whatever he finishes. We get called to the same window right after him. So we got the next number. He must come in right ahead of me. So I asked the woman, I said, was that Guy Lafleur? And she went, yeah, that was Guy Lafleur. Oh, I'm so excited. I'm like, oh my God.
Son of a bitch.
I could have talked to him for a half hour. And he would have talked to me from what I know. He would have talked to me. Unbelievable. So that's my, like, I guess I'll never get that. It was my chance, and that's it. And I'm never going to get that chance again. I'd love to have him. Like, I'd love to get big enough on here that he would come on and do an interview. Like, that would be like, for me, going to Mecca, as they say, right? That would be like to me.
I always get a kick out of that.
Franco, that's what I'm going to do because I like it this way better. This was good. Do you remember Kevin Stevens smashing his face on the ice while he passed out? He got punched or something. Didn't someone punch him? And he went down. Boom. Hit his face like he was. And you know what? Kevin Stevens was never the same after that. Never.
Oh, I remember when
he didn't want to go into the boards or the corners. He was afraid.
Yeah, I remember oh my God. Who was the guy that got kicked out of the cup final because his stick was too long?
Stick was too long.
Or the curve was weird. It was in the 93 finals on the Kings.
Yeah. What's his name? I can't even remember his damn name.
You remember when he slashed what's his face in the head?
Yeah.
That was bad. That was really bad.
Yeah, or the other guy there, Bertuzzi. Was it Bertuzzi who did that?
Todd Bertuzzi, when he grabbed the guy in the back of the head and punched him.
Yeah, the guy fell on the ice and banged his head. And he was never, not that he was a great player, but he never was able to play again, I don't think. So, those were some bad. McSorley.
Trace McSorley, yes.
Yeah. So, that. And listen, you know what? I don't know that Montreal wouldn't have beat LA, but I kind of think, because that was game 2. I think a lot of people think it wasn't game 2, but it was game 2. And I think if they lost game 2, it was a different series. So the fact that happened, they went on to win the game. I think that turned that series completely around. But I think LA might have won if it wasn't for McSorley's illegal stick. And a lot of people say, I've heard this, that the Habs, it's not a legitimate cup because they did that. They shouldn't have done that. But you know what? You want to win? Sometimes you got to use whatever tool you got in the book. Right?
Yeah, or, don't use an illegal stick.
Or don't use an illegal stick. Actually, how it was mentioned, it was said back then that he was stupid because it was the third period, right at the end of the game. They said you should know at that point, change your stick. Because they all have illegal ones and legal ones. If they get caught, they switch to the real one. He should have switched to the real one near the end so he didn't get caught on that. I remember I heard that comment many times back then.
Yeah, because it was the curvature of the blade, right? If I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, the blade, it had too much curve. So, oh, Larry Robinson. I have Larry Robinson's autograph. I delivered a pizza to him at he owned it was called Dingy's. Dingy's. And I was working for a pizza restaurant. He was a friend of the bosses there, and I delivered a pizza to him. And yeah, I got his autograph, but I said it was for my son, but it was for me. So it says to Zachary, even though it's for me. You know what I remember about him? He was a really nice guy, and I got to him. I gave him the pizza, and I had to do this to talk to him.
Yeah, he's a pretty tall guy.
He's really tall, a big, tall guy. So yeah, Larry Robinson, good guy, nice guy, friend of my ex-bosses, and yeah, I love Larry Robinson. I mean, what a great defenseman. I love, he did it at least 3-4 times a season, go end to end and score. Just carry the puck, long strides, get to effortlessly get down there, fire the puck, and score. He did that a few times every year. He's an awesome, awesome defenseman. Oh, I'm putting it up there again. All right, so that was supposed to be the last story. So guess what? We're going to say goodnight. And it's 2:15. That's what I wanted to. So thanks, everybody. This was a lot of fun. I want to thank Bye for taking the membership. Thank you so much. I appreciate that. And just thank everybody for being here, participating, and having fun with us because it was a lot of fun. So give a thumbs up on the way out. Consider subscribing and ring that notifications bell so you'll be notified next time we do this and for the videos as they come out. And yeah, also consider joining. I'm not sure where the join button is on what device you're watching it, but if you click it, tells you everything you need to know if you want to take a membership. They start as low as $1.99. And yeah, I appreciate it if you do that and support the channel. And you get entered in the draw to win that hat. Right there. Same thing exactly what Matt, I forgot your name, Matt. There's a blooper. I didn't forget my name this time. I forgot
yours. On the stage. It's on the damn screen.
It's written right there. Okay, yeah. I mean, what are you going to do? So it's the same thing. Show them the signature. It's signed on the bill.
Right there.
Yeah, there's a couple things. And yeah, you get one of those. Someone's going to get one of those. And that's anybody that donates anything to the channel in any way. That's what you get. You get into that draw. Okay, so now I'm babbling. I want to just thank everybody. Thanks for being here.
Thank you very much.
Thanks, Matt, for being here. And thanks, everybody, for supporting the channel. And listen, we're over 2,900 subscribers. When we hit 3,000, do some kind of special thing. Have a special giveaway. So thanks, everybody. Have a great night. See you next week. See you next video. And peace out, y'all. Have a good one. Bye, everybody.